think there's going to be a swatting deal.
They're just not sure what they're walking into. You don't know if it's a swatting call, swatting being someone making a false phone call to the police department to get police to respond. You don't know if it's a real emergency.
Right, but this sounds, if there's people in the house, there's no reason they can't come out.
Let me grab the horse and I'll just take her to the other side. Police department!
Down.
The first person he sees is Jan Jackson on the ground.
Can you put your hands out to the side where I can see them?
And he asked Mr. Jackson to show his hands because he doesn't realize that Mr. Jackson is deceased. Alex Jackson is down the hallway and he's the one who's talking.
We got a door here. Who's this down? Hey. Who are you? Is that your dad? What happened? What happened? There. He came. No. There was a man.
Oh, he's lying.
115.
I think he's a shooter.
One has got shot wounded in the head.
Well, the title said college student kills his whole family during the pandemic. So I think he kind of gave it away.
Is she okay? I think so. Sabrina? Sabrina? Is that a room right there? Yeah.
She was laying there, in bed, under the covers, in what appeared to be a fetal position, and she was deceased with one very apparent injury to her left eye.
Third victim?
Yeah. 115, we have 3 victims. Start us at least 3 ambulances.
Who's with me? Yeah. You go home. Watch my back. I'll start here. You want to hold it? Police department! Stand up if you're here! Police department!
Citizens, police, if anyone's inside, sound off now.
Police department?
You get this spot clear.
They were unaware of who all was in the home. They engaged in a protective sweep of the home to make sure that it was empty of an intruder.
Yeah, I got a garage back here. We'll check the garage. Yeah, that's fine. Well, there's got to assume there's a mother around here somewhere. More victim. So we had a triple homicide.
Mom, when we found her, was laying on the bedroom floor. There were multiple bullet holes in the
Hi,
floor
welcome.
and in the
Thank you for
pillow.
watching. I appreciate you.
Are you with a log or a limp?
What's your name? What's your name?
Alex.
Alex. Alex, what happened?
There was a man.
What man?
I wasn't no man.
Breathe and relax, all right?
Get my mom.
No, we're getting everybody. You're Alex, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Alex. I want you to relax and worry about yourself right now. And keep some track about everything.
We're gonna help you out. I gotta put on gloves real quick. Oh, yeah. 1. Okay. 2. 3. Give me breath 1 out. Okay. They coming with you.
Yeah. You want me to go with him?
Yeah, if you want to.
Or that, or either one. I tried asking him. He didn't. He just said he was a man. That's all we got.
Alright. first one right here. Shot in.
That looks to be a 22. Well, the rounds on the floor are 22s, so.
You're going to shoot.
Casing's right here.
Okay.
We have confirmed all three.
Yeah. You don't think about anybody yet? I'm assuming it's mom, dad, sister. No names.
To see a family at home, comfortable, who have been executed, it was definitely troubling.
Start tonight at 10 with breaking news just in the newsroom. 61-year-old Jan Jackson, 68-year-old Melissa Jackson, 19-year-old Sabrina Jackson, all found dead in their home on Oak Leaf Court around 8:30 this morning. Stay with us for updates and reports on this chilling story. The basic shock of 3 people dead in a home in a quiet neighborhood.
Thank
Really shook
you.
people. Some guy broke in and killed everybody, and the son
It's gonna be really cute. Wait till the end.
And almost immediately, police began to search the surrounding neighborhood for the intruder.
For that time of the day, for that area, very outdoor area. It was all hands on deck.
We got to the hospital right as Alex Jackson was arriving.
Yeah, it's not the news. It's a YouTube channel. But yeah. Sorry.
What was your rate of 0 to 10 on being buzzers? So that is.
Yeah. He's.
The uniformed officer had a body camera on him, so we kept that camera rolling. And we just followed him right into the ER so they could treat his foot.
Hey guys, my name is Sarah. I'm investigator with the police department. Okay, this is my partner Matt.
At that point, we knew that he was reporting there had been an intruder in his house, and that he had confronted the intruder, and the intruder had left the house.
Were you guys seeing anything, or did you have fun of it? I know. But we weren't there, but you're the only one that can tell us.
We didn't have a choice to not interview him right then and there. He's the only person that can tell us what this suspect looks like, so we can go find the killer before this happens to anybody else.
No, there's a white man, black man, Hispanic, Asian.
He's actually wearing black clothes. I heard downstairs. So I went downstairs. He was dressing with romance guy.
They can wash it. It's human hair, so they can wash it anytime. They can keep it in up to 2 months.
He had a mask on. Go get one of those ski masks or whatever. Did you see his hair? No. Or his shoes. So get there. I can't tell you.
You can see throughout this videotaped interview, you can see us on our phones. We're getting text messages from people that are out at the scene.
Officer Buckle and his canine Corsa is still on the hunt.
Their assignment was to
Thank
track
you.
the area that most likely would have been the route that the intruder would have took when he left the home.
So I work there, we can work up in this yard here, but like I said, sergeant on the wall. Make sure no, she's not picking through the beer, so.
Canine wasn't having any success.
Other officers canvass neighbors for surveillance data.
The first place I start is the house closest to them, which was right across the street. Started at about 6 a.m. and went through the footage until approximately 8:30 when I saw patrol officers arriving on scene and in the area.
and just see if there's anything on
Thank
the camera that
you.
is showing evidence of a possible intruder. There was nothing.
Alex had said that the intruder came and went from the back door in the basement. You want to see if that's been pried open, has that been kicked open? There was no sign of anything disturbed.
Although we had these red flags, we were also open to the idea that maybe, maybe this really did happen.
You pushed him. Did he say anything to you?
You. Think I mean. Yeah, just let go. Just let go. Now. Just let it. And then, obviously, not.
So when you were struggling with the gun?
Yes, trouble.
They did their whole workup on the gun. They found 2 handprints, one from the right hand and the left hand, that both matched Alex Jackson. There was no evidence that anyone else was pulling on the gun or wrestling with the gun as he was holding it.
When we stepped out, we talked to coworkers. They were at your house. This is your house. This is the neighborhood. And Alex, the reality is not any evidence that anyone else was over in your house. It's okay. It's okay. Alex, do you want to tell us what happened? What really happened?
We're not here to judge you at all. I guess.
I'm an else super. As a man. Sorry. And a shot.
Yeah, I go through a supplier to get the hair because it has to be put on the string and all that stuff. So I don't know how that works as far as donating your hair and
I mean,
stuff.
you know that reason.
But yeah, I go through a supplier. Thank you.
What you do.
A member of the high school marching band, Alex Jackson seemed to be the all-American kid. He had worked hard to become an Eagle Scout. Alex did not drink, did not use drugs.
It just added another wrinkle to the disbelief of the whole situation.
Gunshot there, looks like it's really true.
We were at the hospital for just over 4 hours.
We don't want to confront somebody whose family has just been murdered in the event that they're not the ones who did it. However, when things don't make sense, you then have to ask those hard questions.
I'm okay with the fact that you have been maybe honest about this. You have. Maybe a request. But you're here to talk about it. Your cats right now. Your baby tells me that your heart's beating real fast. You're bad.
Sorry, my family.
Come on.
This kid.
Can we send him or slaughter from your house? What do you think right now?
Oh, they're dead.
There were moments of regret where, oh gosh, my whole family's dead. But he was very intentional on not being tied down to any more detail than he was willing to give.
There's issues in your house with your family that you're having. You gotta share those with us. When's the first time you saw it? This. I can do it. Okay? I would never hurt my family. They are important to me. I love them. You may not understand that, but I love them.
Alex, your sister was in.
Okay.
Okay. The George don't shoot 18, 19-year-old girls like that in your office.
What's the worst thing she's ever done? I mean, don't like your confidence. Maybe. She was a Democrat. She's a vote Democrat. That's the worst thing she's ever done. Where?
We did receive some information that he and his sister did not get along at all. They had significantly different political views, that she was afraid if he found out that she was bisexual, what he would do to her. There was definitely tension in their relationship.
And detectives learned that Alex, a junior at the University of Iowa, had struggled in his classes during the pandemic lockdown.
I think COVID may have been a factor. In that last semester, he basically flunked out of school. He didn't pass any of his classes. Now he's paying for college, so he can't be happy that he's paying for classes, but you're not passing.
People get somewhere. I think this school thing is part of the problem. I don't want to pay thousands of dollars for my kids to go visit out their lady in Iowa because they don't want to get focused. Okay?
It's not fun feeling like you're disappointing your family.
Workers. It's true. Right. Also. Worker.
Once he stuck to his guns, it's kind of like you dig yourself into this hole.
I'm not, you lose Steve. Carnage in that house. Everyone in that house was shot in the head. Except for you got this. It's supervision. I know. But makes no sense at all.
That looks like it hurts.
You're not going to go to see my mother. That's why we work.
It didn't hurt that bad.
Look, you know?
Just a strange statement, right? No one wakes up in the morning and wonders what it would feel like to get shot in the foot with a firearm, unless you intend to get shot in the foot with a firearm that morning.
Huh?
I want the guy now.
Yeah, well, we found the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's he?
Yeah, we did. Huh?
Stop me.
Like the signature. It's because that I just spelled out
Down here.
all the evidence to you, and then you're going to sit here and tell me, basically, I think you're dumb. Is what you're saying without saying it. That's it.
Down here. Down here. More than he's a friend.
Okay. Because I didn't kill him. That's why.
There were a couple of points during that interrogation.
Good morning to you, wherever you are. It's
the
evening
feeling
over
like
here.
he might have opened up and was close to giving, but it never did.
But welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching.
That's something.
So, after surgery, Alex was brought to the police department.
We wanted to give him one last opportunity to explain to us why this happened, and maybe even change our mind on why.
Thanks to the story, he could tell like they did with it. And then we let him know that he's being charged with the murder of his mom, sister, and father.
You're being charged with murder.
And there's no reaction. I mean, he just, almost like he expected it.
So tonight at 10 with breaking news just in the newsroom in the last 20 minutes or so. Sioux Rapids police now say a 20-year-old man is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder after allegedly shooting and killing his parents and younger sister.
How does this Eagle Scout get charged with murdering his parents and his sister? It, on the surface, just did not make sense.
A historic murder case in Cedar Rapids, Iowa is finally going to trial more than a year and a half after 20-year-old Alex Jackson accused of killing his parents and sister.
The triple homicide anywhere would be a big story, but we hadn't seen one, I think, since 1982.
The biggest problem we had was this was a case of circumstantial evidence. It's human nature for people to think, I can't see a kid doing this to his parents or his sister.
Alexander Jackson lost a significant amount of weight. I guess well over 100 pounds. His hair was grown out. He wore a mustache and goatee. Very different than the Alexander Jackson from June 15th of 2021.
Mr. Shearer, are you prepared to proceed for the state?
I am, Your Honor.
You may. Alexander Jackson want you to think that he had a perfect family life. The evidence is going to show you what the truth is about this family dynamics. And it's not what Mr. Jackson claimed to be.
Now, I wanted to paint right away, this isn't a loving family that the vet's gonna come and try to show you.
This was a triple homicide. They find no evidence of any sign of anyone else inside that home that morning, except for the defendants, Sabrina, Melissa, and Jane. There is no signs of forced entry. There is no signs of a struggle. And yet the defendant claims, and you'll hear this in the interview, that he didn't hear anything until after fact and had to struggle with this mystery man down in the basement. And that's how he got shot in the foot. He got shot in the foot after 3 people were dead. You hear about this unique brown .22 rifle. A gun that was used on all 3 of the Jackson family members. You will see that there is only one person responsible for these events that happened on June 15, 2021. The defendant. When he shot and killed them with that .22 Brown rifle. Ms. Carr, are you prepared to proceed? Thank you. Having just seen his father lying in a pool of blood on the ground, with a gunshot bleeding from his foot, in shock, as officers said, heavily medicated with fentanyl, officers wasted no time at all accusing Alexander Jackson of killing his family. You're going to hear that Alex was raised by loving parents. He had great relationships with his mother and his father both, spending time with them, helping them out around the house. There's no history of mental illness. You'll hear nothing except he enjoyed band. He enjoyed scouts. He was respectful to his teachers, respectful to his parents.
The strongest point that they had.
I wouldn't wash it every day. She has 4C hair. I would maybe do once a week.
Unknown motive. An intruder who escaped,
especially if you're not using product on the hair.
The police made very little to no effort.
Hey, welcome in.
Alexander Jackson was the 4th victim in this case. There's no doubt this is a tragedy. No doubt at all.
How often do you normally wash your hair? Is it every week or every 2 weeks, every month?
Thank you.
The prosecution began with the neighbor from across the street,
My name's Lydia Yang.
whose home surveillance cameras showed no one coming or going from the Jackson home.
Ever see anybody that seemed alarming or concerning to you, wondering what this person's doing in the neighborhood?
No.
State calls Brandon Bosenberg, Your Honor.
All right.
Our investigator, Brandon Bosenberg, handles tons of firearms as part of his regular course of investigating crime scenes.
Is that the guy that killed those 3 people?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He could not figure out how
I said,
to
hi,
use
friend.
his weapon without watching the YouTube video.
So I did refer to a video to
Say hey, welcome in.
how to properly load this rifle. And then, of course, loading is done right here
Okay.
inside the
Yeah.
stock.
I wouldn't wash it every day, no. I would pump it down to like weekly if we can.
These
Welcome.
killings, that firearm had to be reloaded.
Yes, there would have had to have been a reload at some point in the process.
They told us that the person who used the firearm knew how to use a gun that even our expert couldn't figure out initially.
And if you find yourself like having to wash it, I would maybe do like a co-wash or do a conditioner, you know, instead of like shampoo every time, so that way it doesn't like strip all the oils from her hair, because 4C hair thrives off of oil,
Important video evidence. The interrogation
natural
of Alex
oils
Jackson.
especially.
The jury saw all 4 hours of the interrogation.
bigger questions.
Any concerns about your interview that you conducted with Alex Jackson about him not understanding what you're asking him?
No, I mean, that was a fairly lengthy interview, and at the beginning of the interview and at the end of the interview seemed to be tracking quite well and answering and seemed to understand
About 3
what was
hours.
going on.
When you interviewed
Yeah,
the
stripping the
defendant, do you
oils
recall
away
how
by
much he said
washing
he had in his
it.
bank account?
3 hours, friend. 3 hours.
And do you know through your investigation?
Yeah, the shampoo is just not good for 4C hair. So some people don't even shampoo their hair. They'll just use the co-wash, which is like a conditioner, but like a cleansing conditioner. So I will look into that.
Presumably he would.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Cross-examination, Mr. Johnson.
A well-experienced public defender against the most well-respected investigator on the force of the second biggest police department in the state. It was something bold.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's a big no, but it's okay. You know, at least you're learning now and you're starting now, so it's a new day, right? You got this, Mama.
Tyler Johnson was sharply focused on the emergency room interrogation of his client by Detective Decker.
We live and we learn,
So when
right?
you went to the hospital, you knew that Mr. Jackson had been shot in the foot, right?
I did, yes.
That he could very well be traumatized.
Yes.
He could be in shock,
Yes.
and he was under medication, right?
Well, again, I think we just covered that, but
Right. And you chose to go interview him at that time,
yes.
knowing the effects that trauma can have on someone, right?
Yes.
Knowing the effects of what medication can have on someone.
Yes.
The fact that he had been on fentanyl and that we chose to interview him right there seemed to be a really big sticking point for the defense.
You even asked the nurse to hold off on the pain meds for 15 minutes, right?
Yes.
Because you know what effect the medication can have on somebody's ability to accurately relate information to you, right?
I was worried it might cause him to fall asleep or something.
Didn't have to interview him then.
You said that before, but I mean, if you think about it, if I don't interview him there, the one person that witnessed this happen, the one person that could provide information, and I wait 72 hours because the gunman who murdered 3 people and shot him is wandering out in the neighborhood, he dies in the emergency room, and now we got no information. Like I said before, I fired myself. I did something that stupid.
The defense failed to get investigator Bowman the route up. He stayed calm, he stayed objective, and was even able to give his opinion as to the theory of this crime, how this crime was committed, and who committed it.
So, if I get your testimony straight, so Mr. Jackson shoots himself in the foot in his bedroom. Is that what you're saying?
It looks that way.
There's no bullet found in that bedroom, was there?
No.
No shell casing found in that bedroom?
No, but he also had a shell casing in his hand at one point.
So you think that he, after he shot himself, he took the firearm back up the hallway and dropped it off on the other side of his father? Is that your theory?
That's exactly what I think.
Yeah, I try to be. It really just depends on the phone battery, right? So I try to be. I got 70% right now, guys, so we looking good. We looking good. We'll see. And usually I try to, if my phone does die, I try to like grab my other phone and then show you guys the end result, you know? I don't like to leave you guys hanging, especially after you've been watching the whole time. Typically we want to see, you know, what it's looking like.
The first decision was going to have Alex testify and open him to
But yeah, I usually come on here and go live when I'm braiding every client, so.
Testify is solely your decision, not your lawyer's decision, not my decision, not anybody's decision except yours. Do you understand that?
I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for your support.
I think that that might have been the right decision because I was fully prepared. So yes, if people perceive me as intimidating or a hard prosecutor, I can take that.
So excited because today I got accepted for monetization for the super chats. So super excited, guys. Like, we're moving on to another level now. Hey. Just happy to be here. God is good.
No. Did you ever get in fights?
Yeah.
No.
I never thought I'd see it coming, girl, but it's here. So happy.
Garrett Barton was a member of Alex's Eagle
I
Scout.
said, well, now the real work begins, right?
A few times at scout meetings. Have you ever seen him be
All the time.
ever mean to his mother?
And I said, this whole year I've been planning. I said, this is my planning season. This is my seeds, right? This is me growing my seeds this year. And I've been in church every Sunday since January 1. I've been giving even when I don't have it, right? And look how it's just multiplying, like clients, booking, the YouTube growing, you know, just different areas of my life. I'm seeing fruit already, and I was patient and obedient, right? And waiting. God said, wait. I said, okay, Lord, I got you.
And the people that knew him 4 or 5 years ago.
And life is just looking so up now, you know. So it's really good. 2025 was something else for me, and so this, I'm just blessed and highly grateful, you know.
Alexander Jackson makes a call.
Okay, obedience is better than sacrifice. And I read something else today that said, what did it say? It said, fruit is better than grace.
I've been shot. Dad's been shot. Are you okay?
Because fruit you actually work for, right? You're putting in the work. You're planting the seeds, you're watering them, you're growing, you're staying consistent, you're learning, right? Grace is just protecting you, you know, even when you may not be obedient. So, means a lot. Means a lot.
That's not something that's contemplated. You think about what it's going to feel like to get shot in the foot when you plan to try and cover up 3 murders that you've committed by shooting yourself in the foot, ladies and gentlemen. I thought it hurt worse. This was not some random intruder that breaks in and executes a family that he doesn't know with a gun that he didn't bring with the hope to steal things that are never stolen. Where there's a struggle with a huge man and a tall man, a black man with green shoes wearing all black and a ski mask with gloves on. Makes no sense. The murderer in this case that you're looking for, ladies and gentlemen, is seated right behind me. And that murderer is Alexander Jackson. There's only one conclusion.
No, they won't unravel. They're crocheted, the pieces are crocheted into the bottom. And then the hair is in one piece, so it will not unravel. If the crochet is added on as like a part of this, like say if I added the crochet piece in here, then it would unravel because it would be a part of the braid. But the way that I'm adding it in, it's not a part of the braid, so it won't unravel.
Eagle Scout. There's simply
Ooh, yes, even though we may not deserve it, he still gives us grace. He still loves us, no matter what we're doing, right? And we're all human. Hi, welcome in. Thank you for watching.
home invasions.
Amen.
They happen, unfortunately, all over the country. When you look at this neighborhood, if someone was going to
No,
do a
it doesn't.
home invasion, this would be the perfect neighborhood for
My
it.
nails are not long. Anyway, they're short.
When he gets there at the hospital, you can see in his eyes the shock and the terror.
And I've been doing this 20 years, friend.
Is your foot real bad? Do you think you can hold off on pain meds for maybe 15 minutes for us to talk to you? Can you imagine
Yeah, no
if you were
seashells.
Alex's parent in that situation? Would you stand for that? Would anybody stand for that? For us to sit back and Monday morning quarterback what he said and how he said it.
Thank
when he's
you.
in this condition, while he's been given pain medication, to judge his responses and the way he said them and the accuracy of those things is tantamountably unfair. We believe that reasonable doubt is all over this case.
No, my
Alex
fingers
had
don't
no
get
reason to
tired.
want to harm his family.
Sometimes
And we've
if
asked
I'm
that you
doing
return
like
verdict not guilty.
12 hours though, or doing like styles that make my hands a little bit more tired, like a twist or
On a verdict to a murder in the first degree times
what else,
30
like
does not feel like a
cornrows,
short verdict.
like a lot of cornrows.
So the Pat Portman was the
But not
jury
this,
that
and
you tell her a lot.
this
People-
it don't hurt at all.
We need to hear what this verdict is going to be.
About 3 hours.
Has the jury reached a verdict in this matter?
No.
All right, if you'd like that, are you the foreperson? All right, if you'd like to hand that to Terry.
Need to take breaks. Oh yeah, for that.
According to the stand,
Yeah, if I'm doing like 12 hours.
on each of, as to
I
each
typically
of the
don't take
three
breaks though.
counts, four
This is called Miracle
has
Knots.
been executed. We, the jury, find the defendant, Alexander Jackson, guilty of the offense of murder in the first degree.
The first person to react to that was Tyler Johnston, the public defender, and he just leaned over to Alex, and you couldn't hear him, but you could see his mouth say, "I'm sorry."
There was this little
Thank you.
grin on his face. You just saw the corners
Appreciate you
of his
watching.
mustache go up just ever so slightly. And that was really
Yeah, I got
the
you.
only reaction
Give me 2 minutes.
from him.
We're just very sorry for Alex. Alex is 22 years of age and is going to spend the rest of
Oh
his
yeah,
life
you can
in
do
prison.
braids, mix hair, of course.
Alex wanted everyone to think that he was the victim in this case.
You can make it happen.
Glad today that that was
I've done this style on Caucasian, done it on Hispanic.
incredibly loved. And
Committed, Mr. Jackson to this day maintains his innocence.
Mr. Jackson, is there anything you would like to say?
Whatever.
All right. At this time, Mr. Jackson is adjudicated to be guilty of 3 counts of murder in the first degree. In each count, he is sentenced to be confined for the remainder of his life, no possibility of parole. Sentences shall be served consecutively with each other, and we are adjourned.
The only word I can use to describe what happened to this family is tragic. There is not a winner in this case. The Jackson family should not be dead, and that young man should not be spending the rest of his life in prison. Tragic.
To call this afternoon for death investigation.
An otherwise healthy 40-year-old woman was found dead in her bed. Is it an accident? Is it a suicide? Is it a homicide?
I was a young mother with 2 young boys. She was a young mother with 2 young boys, and it's like, how is this possible?
Julie had a one-night sexual relationship with one of her
I did.
coworkers. Someone began harassing and
Hi,
stalking
welcome.
Julie Jensen by leaving pornographic photos around the house. The internet searches consisted of searches for ways to kill someone, searching for ethylene glycol poisoning.
Thank you.
Glycol is the primary constituent element of antifreeze, which predominantly was done by suicide, not by homicide.
It is my opinion that Miss Jensen was at high risk for suicide. We're having a whole trial on the topic of whether Julie's crazy.
Did the state prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Jensen caused Julie's death? Or did they prove to you that Mark Jensen wasn't a great husband and was kind of a jerk?
why he's gonna tell you.
I mean, you know, the situation. And I grabbed the gun.
And then the first place to put it on. No, sir. The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything? We, the jury, decline the defendant.
Carroll Beach is a really pretty community with a lot of unique homes right on the lakefront of Lake Michigan in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin.
Mark and Julie Jensen were well off. Mark made very good money as an investment advisor. Julie was a stay-at-home mom and took care of their older son until their next son was born, and then continued with the two boys.
It was 3 weeks before Christmas. The sounds of silence told Julie and Mark's neighbors something horrible had happened.
Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless you. In a minute.
An otherwise healthy 40-year-old woman was found dead in her bed by her husband with her 2 young sons who were waiting outside.
I saw Julie Jensen laying in bed, largely covered by bed covers. It appeared as though she'd been laying on her back, and then she was rolled into this position, clinging onto her side. She'd been sick for 3 days, and that morning, according to Mark Jensen, Julie was unable to get out of bed.
Kitchen area, there's a cabinet with a lot of prescription items in them.
And there was a prescription for Ambien that had been obtained, and Julie obtained a prescription for Paxil.
A drug prescribed for the treatment of depression.
We will be taking all that.
We basically seized everything, and we seized the computer. And the computer, well, the computer is really how we ended up.
That computer. Hi, welcome in. Thank you. Thank you.
Calling it pending.
Well, it's quite damaging to the criminal investigation, because if you don't even know what caused the death, then you can't take the next step to determine the manner of death. Is it an accident? Is it a suicide? Is it a homicide?
It would take years to get a final determination of how Julie Jensen died, and only after unearthing some dark family secrets.
We went way back to 1990, 1991, because that's when there was marital difficulties for the Jensen.
Sometime in 1990, Julie had a one-night sexual relationship with one of her co-workers while Mark was out of town. She confessed that to Mark, and after deciding not to divorce and instead to stay in marriage,
got a little heart on it, see?
began harassing and stalking Julie Jensen by leaving pornographic photos around the house, sometimes hang up phone calls even when Mark was home, and she kept a log, and it was very, very lengthy, many, many, many pages long. And this kind of emotional torture, this psychological torture went on for almost 7 or 8 years.
Julie finally went to see the family doctor. It was December 1st of 1998.
And that's when he essentially was telling the doctor I'm depressed and miserable, and that was just days before
welcome
her
from
death,
Nigeria.
where she made those statements to the doctor.
Thank you.
It was on the day after Julie's body was discovered that investigators got their first break in the case.
Was handed a letter.
Hi, welcome.
From one of the neighbors. The neighbor said Julie had given this to him a week and a half or so before she died, and she told him if anything happens, we give this to the police.
The letter was quite revealing. In that letter, Julie talks about her fears about her husband, that she fears that he may do something to harm her. She says that their relationship has deteriorated to the polite superficial.
She expressly states in the letter that she would never harm herself, that she would never leave her 2 sons without a mother.
Yeah, don't cry. I'm doing no crying over here.
Of a post-it note that she found in his day planner that alerted her or aroused her suspicion. The note was written in Mark's handwriting. In the list, it says own drug supply, Librium, bag hands, syringe. And so it certainly seemed that Mark Jensen was making a list of potential ways to murder someone.
But just as important for the investigation was what was found on the family computer.
The internet searches consisted of searches for ways to kill someone. Searches for botulism, pipe bombs, a lot of unusual searches for a family home computer, especially where half the family consists of a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old.
And one internet search in particular caught the attention of investigators.
It was discovered that someone had been searching for ethylene glycol poisoning.
Ethylene glycol is the primary constituent element of antifreeze. Ethylene glycol is a very, very
antifreeze.
Because
Oh no.
Sicker and sicker, you start to have cardiac arrhythmia, you start to have difficulty breathing, and then ultimately you're already shut down and you die. It's a horrible, horrible way to die.
The ethylene glycol is not tested for an autopsy. That's a very rare thing. So unless there's a reason to test for it, it's not tested for it.
So we asked the medical examiner to conduct another evaluation. And
Hi,
they found
welcome
ethylene glycol in her
in.
blood, they found ethylene glycol in her stomach, and they found ethylene glycol in her urine, which was contrary to what the first lab had found.
I mean, it was a huge moment because again, people should not have ethylene glycol in their system. So at that point, it's either going to be a very strange suicide.
Thank
or it's
you.
going
I
to be a
appreciate
homicide.
you.
4 months after Julie's death, lead detective Paul Webster brought Mark Jensen in for questioning.
You know, I was going through things here this morning, and I'm a little...
Mark didn't have to come in for that interview. He was not in custody at that point. He came in on his own, and he was just going to come in to try to clear up some minor details.
Ratsburg had been one of the detectives who years earlier responded to Julie's complaints about the pornographic pictures.
And I said, well, there's one way we can find out for sure. You need to know if there's some handwriting.
Okay, you out of here? Oh, you look cute. Oh, okay. You had did it already? You feeling better? Okay. Maybe you had a migraine. Because, you know, sometimes migraines make you feel like you dehydrated a little bit. You want to come say hi to my YouTube? It's 226 people watching. Yeah. Hey, guys. There go Candy, my baby girl. Melted by Kay. Say hi, guys. They said Candy is pretty. They said Candy is so adorable. I know, she spelled it right too. It is with a K. Look, gonna send her a super chat. No, nobody sent me a super chat yet, but today's my first day, so we'll see who be my first super chat. You gonna be my first super chat? Thank you, baby girl. Okay. They said hi, pretty lady. They said they love your hair. She said thank you. That's my baby girl, y'all.
We saw in the emails that Kelly Bond is coming to Wisconsin.
I am fancy. See the braiding one? Okay. All right, see you later. Love you in a minute. Okay.
As if nothing had happened. According to the family, she almost takes Julie's place in the home.
When I watched that interview with Mark Jensen, he could not even admit the truth that he was involved with this woman, Kelly Levante.
Yeah, because he Kelly Levante was finding you having an affair for, and I thought maybe YouTubers have an affair here with Kelly, or maybe there's anyone else. Kelly, no, so she's your girlfriend now, or at least somebody you're dating from a fair statement, something, or the way you would probably get dating, but you know, you'll be the friend you want, so we're going to like, you didn't have anything, but right.
But the detective knew that 3 months before Julie's death, Kelly had emailed her.
Okay. Dang, 2:23. Wow.
Even more now,
Okay, have a good night. Sleep well. Well, you can come back tomorrow and check out the live. I'm sure it'll be on there for you. I know, right? Get you some rest.
I remember you telling me that she didn't at all. You think at some point she was getting poisoned or something? Or
And make sure you subscribe so I can see you again soon.
and it's all good, and you know it's here. We've been calling that new stuff. Simply finding the information.
So the investigation
Thank you.
had to focus on who used the home computer. Certainly, if Julie Jensen had been using the home computer, it could suggest
Thank
that she
you.
committed suicide.
But several of the key searches were conducted
I
in
might.
the 2 days before she died.
So while Julie Jensen is incapable of even sitting up in bed by herself,
I
someone
am
is
beautifully
down the hall
and wonderfully
in the day
made,
on
okay?
the home computer, searching for
Blessed by
the
the
symptoms
best.
of ethylene glycol poisoning and tracking the symptoms of ethylene glycol poisoning.
Good night.
Since Julie's death, the medical examiner had advanced the theory that not only was she poisoned, but that Julie may have been smoked.
Thank you.
Shoulder or put a pillow over her face and smother it.
Oh, I sure will. Always, always, always pray. Everybody in here, don't forget to pray, okay? Don't forget to pray.
You're the only one there. You were the only one there, and you leave, she's alive. You come back, she passed away. That's a chess game, and Detective Radford played it perfect. Read it. This is all your life. Let me go off the left. You see Detective Radford finally confront Mark with that Julie's letter, the letter from the grave, as we say.
And you could see the expression on his face change. You can see the wheels start spinning in his head, that he had no idea that Julie was on to him, that she suspected him.
Right there. I mean, there's nobody else happened. I don't know, I wasn't there. But there's often you gotta consult it. Okay? You have to. I mean, just this guy, natural. Not on the back or not that. But you have to do something.
Good night. Thank you for chilling with us for a little bit.
You're the only person that would have done it. Well, how can I explain this to somebody else? We have, then Julie reads a letter, which I believe is somewhere a week before. And, you know, we're making this up. This is true. And here we have Julie Jensen telling me that if she died, you're the first that did. Okay? You have a lot to carry. I'm not sure what to believe you here. But let me grab some of this other stuff. A 41-year-old female is just not stop breathing. You have to do something, Mark. I wasn't there. You were. You need to tell me what happened. So I just better clear up. Be honest with me. Be straight with me, Mark. Be a man. Tell me what happened to you. I need to know. What happened? Aren't there no questions about that? You really want from there? I mean, look at the evidence that's here. I went through it very diligently with you, and I tell them what took place. Nothing more to go up for. You feel on top of it? Oh, if we can tell me, I need to know what. Be truthful as far as we have to know. She's got her high up with her. I don't go through. It's not freaking by herself. She was. It doesn't happen that way.
When I watched that interview with Mark Jensen, I thought he was guilty and that he was a liar.
But Mark consistently denied he had killed his wife, and without a confession, prosecutors felt they had no choice but to let him leave and go on.
In March of 2002, the unanimous assessment was that we just didn't have enough evidence to charge this case out. I had a young woman dead, but the actual cause of death at that point appeared to be methylmercaptan poisoning, which predominantly was done by suicide, not by homicide. And I had a years-long campaign of harassment that Mark Jensen categorically denied that he was responsible for. It was as good as he was going to get. The tipping point was I saw a photograph in the newspaper that Mark and Kelly Labonte had announced that they're engaging. So I saw that, and I saw victim number 2 coming down the pike here. I thought that if things don't go my way, at least I've warned Kelly Labonte, and I've warned Mark Jensen, we're looking at you. And you're not going to get away with this if you do it again. So in March of 2002, I charged Mark Jensen with first-degree intentional homicide for the murder of his wife, Julie.
Jensen was able to post bond and return home, continuing to raise his 2 sons, David and Douglas.
They spent their entire childhood essentially with their dad and then with Kelly Labonte, who then moved into their home and then became their stepmother, you know, all the while being told that their mother committed suicide. And then as we get to the trial, they're told, no, not only did your mom commit suicide, but she arranged it so that it would look like dad killed her.
It took 6 years for the case to go to trial because of a legal dispute over the centerpiece of the prosecution case, Julie's so-called letter from the grave.
The admissibility of the letter was heavily litigated. The state wanted it in, the defense did not.
At issue was what's called the Confrontation Clause in the United States Constitution.
The Confrontation Clause says that the accused has the right to confront the witnesses against him. And Mark's argument been that, hey, Julie's letter is a statement, and I can't confront this witness. I can't because she's dead.
If the defense is going to say Julie Jensen is suicidal, then Julie Jensen should be able to say that she is not.
Judge Schrader concluded that Mark Jensen had forfeited his right to cross-examine Julie Jensen, so therefore the letter was admitted evidence against him. The letter played a very significant role.
Julie took that letter and she folded it up in an envelope and she said, hold on to this for me, and if anything happens to me, give it to the police.
Mark Jensen was found guilty after a 7-week trial.
After the verdict, the jurors were asked, well, what was the most important piece of evidence, and they all said that it was the letter.
I have sentenced scores of people who contemplated and planned and applied this cruel method of execution for so long a period of time. The wickedness and cruelty of the manner of death that you enacted in this case speak to the content of your character. There are a limited number of people who would do something like that, and those people are people that we need to remove from society. So unless there is some reason why sentence should now be pronounced, I ask that you stand for sentence, please. Mr. Johnson, this is the sentence of the court that your custody be committed to the Department of Corrections for confinement in the Wisconsin State Prisons without possibility of parole for the remainder of your life.
And then 3 years later, a federal judge orders a new trial.
the letter should not have been admitted.
It's a terrible phone call to have to make to the victims, to the family, but in terms of his case, he was once again presumed innocent.
That decision from the federal court was a huge, huge blow. Just the idea of having to retry this case after so many years.
You know, when you're facing the other challenge of having that one piece of critical evidence thrown out, that's another big challenge.
But it would be a second chance for Mark Jensen to prove his innocence.
I think he thought without the letter that he could just convince everyone that she committed suicide. He thought he could beat it.
We're heading into the case of Wisconsin versus Mark Jensen. This is a retrial, his retrial for the man accused of poisoning his wife with antifreeze back in 1998.
I thought Mark Jensen looked just as smug as he did the first time. A little bit older, but otherwise just as smug and arrogant as he was the first time, and thinking that this time he'd get away with it.
Former District Attorney Robert Janweiss had retired, but he wanted to come back for this trial.
This happened on my watch. I want to make sure that justice is done in this case.
Adding his wife Becky, also a lawyer, to help shape a case without the use of Julie's so-called letter from the grave.
I told my husband, I really don't think you need the letter. There's so much evidence against this guy. And let's just do it.
Is the state ready to proceed with their opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead, Ms. McNeil.
Carly McNeil is the Deputy District Attorney in Kenosha County.
This is Julie Jensen. She's with her two sons, David, the older boy, and Douglas, the little boy.
The prosecutor told the jury that the family computer from 1998 would be at the center of the case.
You'll see in this computer evidence the research into websites about poisoning, and then specific.
Jensen was showing no emotion, wearing earphones because of a hearing issue.
And as Julie lay dying that morning of December 3rd, 1998, he went to the computer room, and that morning, he searched for ethylene glycol poisoning. So you can see the search term on the bottom of the screen here. This is Julie Jensen. She didn't kill herself. She lived for her kids, and she died because the defendant murdered her.
The defense is going to do their opening statement. Attorney Renner, you can proceed anytime you're ready.
Thank you.
Mackenzie Renner was assigned to the defense from the County Public Defender's Office.
What brings us here today is Julie Jensen's suicide. The suicide of a woman who was in declining mental health. At the very end of this trial, you're going to be asked to answer one question. Did the state prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Jensen caused Julie's death? Or did they prove to you that Mark Jensen wasn't a great husband and was kind of a jerk? Because those are two very different things. Let's talk a little bit more about this computer evidence. Doesn't take the most intelligence to pop up a search engine and type in some words. The evidence in this case is absolutely
Okay, it's 6:37 over here, so
suicidal.
Just an hour behind you.
The evidence is going to show that Mr. Jensen, while not being perfect, is not a murderer. He is innocent, and he is not guilty.
statement called her first witness. State calls Ruth Forwell to the stand. Ruth Forwell was a neighbor and close friend of Julie's, members of the same book club.
So you did start this new case with Ruth Warwall because, you know, she still had an emotional reaction to Julie's death.
It was just shocking, and it just broke my heart. I mean, I was a young mother with 2 young boys. She was a young mother with 2 young boys, and it's like, how is this possible?
Did you attend Julie's wake?
Yes. And he was literally standing 5 feet from her casket, laughing and joking with a group of men the entire time. And he just lost his wife, the mother of his children, and he's acting like he's at a cocktail party. It was upsetting.
And then a school teacher for Julie's son, Teresa Fazio, who said Julie had confided in her at a parent-teacher conference.
She was worried that he was going to try and kill her with an overdose of some kind of drug.
When you're having this conversation about Ms. Jensen's fear about her husband killing her, was the idea of suicide ever brought up?
She never mentioned suicide, no.
And did she ever say anything to you about whether she would commit suicide?
Oh, she said to me that she was doing all of this to protect her relationship with her kids, because she said, I would never leave my children.
The prosecution theory of Mark Jensen's motive centered on the woman with whom he was having an affair and then married after Julie's death.
Kelly Jensen, or Brooks,
He had a new woman in his life. So it made it very clear what Mark Jensen's motive was.
They had a child together but divorced after he was convicted in the first trial.
Do you recall the first time that you and the defendant had sexual relations of any sort?
it would have been, I believe, around September.
September of 1998?
Yes.
It was 3 months before Julie died.
And so then on Friday, October 16th, 1998 at 9:21 a.m., he emails you, hey, want to run off somewhere? I do love you.
Yes.
All right, and so what is your response then?
Considering you have a milestone birthday next year and we both need some time to clean up our lives, so to speak, I was thinking what a lovely way to spend your birthday. You need sunset, ocean, champagne, no outside issues.
So when you're considering whether this cruise can be a reality, you got to clean up your lives first.
Right.
The state calls Edward Klug.
All right, let's have him come in.
Edward Klug, who didn't come forward for many years after Julie Jensen's death, ultimately told us he and Mark got drunk. They were complaining about their wives, and Mark Jensen informed Ed Klug that there are ways to kill your wife that are undetectable
Thank
at
you so
autopsy.
much.
Basically,
you know, pretty often actually.
You go to search how to kill your wife. And it was
I
just
got a
like the
couple
craziest
lives
thing
on
that I
here
ever heard, that,
where
you know,
clients
an
fell
educated
asleep.
person would say something like that.
Okay, and so what
'Cause I
do you
don't
remember
braid
him
tight, so
mentioning in terms of
it's usually
the
very
kinds
relaxing.
of things he was looking up?
Sure. He was looking up poison, and he was telling me that you could get items that would be non-detectable in a normal autopsy. He was looking at ways that, you know, he would put somebody to sleep, you know, and put something in. He said you could put it in drinks, have them drink it.
And did he mention any other substances?
He said like ethylene glycol, and I didn't know what ethylene glycol was. And then Xanafreeze.
What was the problem that Mark Jensen had in his life when he was saying these things to you?
Well, the problem was he didn't want to pay maintenance. He, you know, wanted to have everything, have his new friend Kelly move in with him.
And to be clear, it was not you and Mark mutually talking about killing your wives?
That's correct. I was not planning on killing my wife.
Mr. Klug, can you tell us why you didn't tell the police or prosecutors or someone in authority about this conversation?
I was scared of Mark. I was scared of the fact that if he killed his wife, what could happen to me?
The next witness for the state is Aaron Dillard.
So, Mr. Dillard, you're wearing prison clothes, is that correct?
That's correct.
So you're an inmate right now?
Yes, I am.
Dillard and Mark Jensen were in the Kenosha County Jail at the same time after Jensen was first arrested.
Aaron Dillard told us that Mark confessed that he put the ethylene glycol in Julie's juice.
And he was kind of trying to make it look like she was.
Okay,
trying to
Kiara, can you
suicide.
take your glasses off for these two? Thank you.
Next after that?
Yeah, at that point he had her on her side, then he rolled her on her stomach, and he was seeing how she was doing then, and she wasn't breathing she was breathing the same, she wasn't breathing any worse. So at that point, he felt nervous and figured he had to do something on his own, and he sat on her back and then pressed her face into the pillow.
Did you tell her what when you sat on her and with your face pushed in the pillow?
Yeah, she passed away.
Typically, I don't rely on jailhouse informants, but there was no way that an inmate could have come up with this information unless Mark Jensen told it to her.
Mr. Perry, you can start your cross.
Mr. Dillard, you agree you're a con man, don't you?
Yes.
You testified that you have a special skill set. Do you remember that?
I don't know if it was a special skill set, but it was just, I was able to get people to talk or get things that I wanted.
That's what caused you to decide to push for information so that you could tell your attorney and get a deal.
Well, it was first I was trying to see how far he'd go, and then he went. So then I decided to use it to help myself.
And you said, Mark, how did you get the antifreeze? And then he just gave you a full confession.
Pretty much worked out like that. He told me about the Edward Loop thing and then went into the rest of it.
Now, there's another deal for you for your testimony today, isn't there?
I don't know if it's a deal or not. It's just that the prosecution's going to write a letter saying I testified truthfully.
Truthfully, as determined by Mr. Jamboys as it was in 2008.
The truth is the truth.
In that case, you got no jail.
Correct.
After getting that letter.
Correct.
No further questions.
Good morning. It's nice to see all the jurors back this morning. I'm seeing that it's already week 4 of the trial. Everybody is still here.
Our next witness will be Dr. Sarah West.
The defense case depended largely on its expert's testimony about
Oh,
Julie
you think
Jensen's
so?
mental state, referring to a description of Julie's sleep problems found in her
Oh,
doctor's
welcome
notes.
from
A sign
Ohio,
of clinical
Midwest.
depression.
One who
How are you?
those people who sleep too much and aren't sleeping at all. In your estimation, as a forensic psychiatrist in this matter, do you have an opinion to a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to Julie Jensen's suicide risk?
I do.
And what is that opinion?
It is my opinion with a reasonable degree of medical certainty that Ms. Jensen on December 3rd, 1998 was at high risk for suicide.
But on cross-examination, prosecutor Bob Jamboys focused on the fact that it was Mark who had noted the sleep problems in the doctor's report.
So the only issue about sleep problems didn't come from Julie Jensen, did it?
That's correct. It came from Mark Jensen.
Yes, Mark Jensen. And you know, Mark Jensen, in addition to
Oh,
being
no,
a
no,
husband,
not at all.
is also a murder suspect in this
Not
case.
at
You're
all.
aware of that, correct?
He was not at the time.
Well, actually, he was.
I was
His-
just
his
asking
wife, Julie
if they look
Jensen,
little.
suspected that Mark was trying to murder
She has a
her.
small
You were
head,
aware
so-
of that, weren't you?
Thank
yes,
you.
but he was not a murder suspect on December 1st, 1998.
Well, his wife suspected that he was trying to kill her, right?
Yes.
No further questions.
All right, you're excused, thank you. Who's our next witness?
David Jensen. David, can you tell us who your parents are?
Mark Jensen and Julie Jensen.
He didn't testify at the first trial, but now as an adult, he was called by the defense.
And how old were you when Julie Jensen passed away?
I was 8 years old.
David was asked to recall the day his mother was found dead in her bedroom.
At some point, did your dad come back down that hallway?
Yeah, yes, I don't remember
Thank
how long
you.
exactly it was, but he came out crying not terribly long after he went down.
David, when you saw your dad coming down that hallway, sobbing or crying, had you ever seen him that way before?
That was the first time I'd seen him cry.
That's all the questions I have, thank you.
All right, you're excused. Dick.
When I was watching David
It's called
testify,
Miracle
I was
Knots.
saying how immensely proud Julie would be of this young man. He came across as a very kind, loving person.
The issue was brought up of whether the defendant was going to testify or not. All right. Have you made a decision?
I have.
Do you understand that the decision whether to testify is for you to make? And what is your decision?
I want not to testify.
You're not going to testify? All right. And Ms. McNeil, you can do your closing argument.
Good morning, everyone. 2023, this year, is the 25th year stolen from Julie Jensen. With her death, Julie Jensen lost David and Douglas. And in death now, nearly 25 years later, she's labeled as crazy. We're having a whole trial on the topic of whether Julie's crazy. Mark Jensen, who had tormented and punished and never forgiven his wife for years, found her replacement and then killed her. He thought he could trick Julie and the police, and honestly, if it ever came down to it, a jury. You'll believe Julie, and you'll find the defendant guilty.
Mr. Perry, you can start whenever you're ready.
So, who was Julie Jensen? We heard from witnesses that Julie Jensen was a lovely human being. We heard from witnesses that she was a devoted mother. But you can be lovely and you can be devoted to your kids and you can be mentally ill. And Julie Jensen
God bless you
was
too,
mentally
friend.
ill. She had a major depressive disorder and was at high risk of suicide. This case is tragic on so many levels. There's depression, there's suicide, and there's an innocent man on trial for homicide. Mark Jensen is innocent. And
Hey
we ask you
guys,
to
welcome
return a
in.
verdict
Thank
of
you
not
for
guilty.
watching. I appreciate you supporting my channel.
The jurors that did deliberate have informed the bailiff that they have a verdict. I'll ask the foreperson who has the verdict. Is that correct? We, the jury, find the defendant, Mark D. Jensen, guilty of intentional homicide of first degree as charged in the information.
I was elated. I was absolutely elated and deeply gratified.
Neither of Mark Jensen's grown sons came to the sentencing, but his younger, Doug, now 28, sent the court a letter.
Yeah, it is.
He said that his mother was erased from his life. He said he learned more about his mother while listening to the trial than he had ever heard.
That's why I said this, the braids are going to look
That is a
smaller, you know.
terrible tragedy. And that's what the defendant did to his own kids. And I'm asking the court to impose a life sentence without parole. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Jones.
I have always tried to make a difference and do everything I could the right way.
Jensen offered no acknowledgement or remorse for the
Miracle
murder of Julie,
Knots.
focusing only on his sons.
When I'm in prison, I make every effort to continue to be there for my sons. That is hurt. I can tell that from the letter he wrote to the court. I wish I could take the hurt away, but I can't. Please grant all eligibility so the family and I can move forward and heal. I can work to understand and find acceptance with the verdict. I can be there for my family who needs me. And please provide the opportunity so I can continue to do something positive with my life. Thank you.
The prison sentence has to be life in prison. I can't change that. The only issue for the court is whether the defendant will be eligible for parole. What do you chose to do is to torture her for a long time. This antifreeze, the theory that somebody would drink that to commit suicide, I don't buy that. It was intentional, it was researched with a purpose for evil. He's not getting any parole.
Yeah, if you want to kill yourself, you're not going to drink antifreeze. Of all things. I mean, you're going to take some pills, right? It's not going to taste no doggone antifreeze.
If anybody in the Wisconsin State Prison System deserves to be there,
I actually will be creating some tutorial braiding videos. I'm thinking about doing a Patreon. What do you think? You think that would be good?
They can see that their mother did not commit suicide, that she would not have left them, and that their father was just responsible for all of it, responsible for them having to grow up without their mother, responsible for them having to hear these lies about their mother all along.
I'm not going to sit here and say I killed my husband. Just because I might be off 5 or 10 minutes or whatever. I did not.
Our story begins in Centerville, Iowa.
Oh, perfect. Okay, awesome. So, you know what? I'm going to create a Patreon this week, and I'm going to do some videos for this style for you. And we're going to see how it goes. Yay, thank you so much. It's actually my passion to teach, so I'm glad that I'm able to do that here. I'm glad that I have this community, you know?
All right, I'll let them know.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Neighbors attempted to help by calling out for anyone who was inside the burning residence. They received no response. Here's the body cam footage of the first responding officer.
Thank you.
Okay. There, 111.
Know that the fire department knows that there is a lot of smoke coming out of the east side of the house. Do you know if anybody's home? Or is they all left? Okay. Centerville. Also, the neighbors say that everybody has been out of the house.
Shortly after, Centerville Fire Rescue arrived on scene. The fire rescue chief, Vern Milburn, had his helmet cam on throughout the incident. When they opened the front door, a dog ran out of the residence, and there was heavy black smoke from floor to ceiling.
I hear you. And no, you're never too old to learn. Never. I'm 44, and I'm still learning every day.
The firefighters worked their way down the hallway and toward the active flames.
And I've been braiding 20 years. Hi, welcome. Thank you. Black don't crack unless you smoke it.
On the bed, they found the charred remains of a middle-aged man.
Okay, we see what you want to do. We're ready to bring it up, and you have to get a bunch of guys up there and hurry up and get on that car. Yeah, we gotta get that. Okay. Yeah, we'll come down to braiding. Yeah, that's it. Ready? One, two, three.
Fire Chief Milburn is familiar with the owners of the residence. It was the home of Tim and Barbara Pazza and their two children, Owen and Kate. The firefighters recognized the deceased man as 50-year-old Tim Pazza.
Check the room real quick, maybe here, and then go do a flip of the whole house. And then I'll have you back it through if you need help. Well, balcony's clear. Yeah, balcony's clear. Right here. Okay, Barbara's clear. This bedroom's clear. Alright, hold on. Yep, that's clear. Take it outside, put it right out there. Ready? Okay. Being clear. I'm gonna tuck up here. Okay, looking clear. Nothing clear? Clear? Okay. First floor's clear. We're going to the basement. Basement clear. Yeah. I think we're good now. Two kids, so they didn't come. They wasn't here. I got to please search the whole room, I'm gonna go do it again. One of the girls told me somebody comes on a bus to a meet or something somewhere. There were two kids, you just wanted to make sure they were down. Well, yeah, the Owen and his sister, Katie, but I think Katie, I think has gone to a meet somewhere, I don't know about her.
The Centerville police chief, Tom Demery, was made aware of the situation. He was shocked to learn of Tim's passing. The two had known each other since high school. Timothy Dale Pazza was born and raised in Centerville. He attended Centerville High School, where he made lifelong friends. Family friend Sonia Carson said Tim was an all-around good guy. Chief Demery said that Tim and their friends would set up their instruments in his parents' garage. He said Tim played the guitar as well as anybody he'd ever heard. Rich Parker, Tim's friend, said music was his outlet, and that Tim was the lead guitarist in a fabulous country band. At one of the band's shows in 1999, Tim met 25-year-old local Barbara Glasscock. Sonia said that Barbara grew up in Centerville, and that she worked as a nurse. She described Barbara as funny and witty. After a few months of dating, Tim and Barbara were engaged and then got married. Not long after, they started a family. Rich said that Tim was a very present father. He attended every event, and anytime they spoke, he bragged about his kids and what they were doing. Tim worked as a customer service representative for Alliant Energy, a local utility provider. Barbara worked as a nurse in the surgical unit at Mercy One Medical Center. A decade after they wed, the couple purchased and remodeled a home. From outward appearances, Tim and Barbara seemed to have a great life. Back at the Pazza residence, firefighters moved Tim's body into the ambulance. Inside the bedroom, Fire Chief Milburn noticed a candle on the floor. The smoke alarm inside the bedroom was also on the floor, and its battery was out of the compartment. Fire Chief Milburn said that the alarm was not melted or burned like in a typical fire. On the opposite side of the house, they located another smoke alarm between the two kids' bedrooms. The battery compartment was open, rendering the device inactive. Neighbors finally got in contact with Barbara, informing her of the house fire. She rushed to the scene. When she arrived, Officer Moore advised her of Tim's death. He said that Barbara didn't seem to have any emotion. Law enforcement and Barbara's friends believed she was in shock and overwhelmed. The police asked Barbara about when she left the house that morning and whether she knew why the smoke detectors had been disarmed. She told them that she left the house around 7 a.m. She had been baking the night before, and something burned, setting off the smoke alarms. Barbara said Tim took the batteries out of the smoke detectors until the smoke cleared. Officer Moore told Barbara that Tim was in the ambulance and that he had been burned severely. She was insistent on spending some time with him. Officer Moore provided her a couple of minutes to spend alone with Tim. Sonia said that when she emerged from the ambulance, she was stoic. Sonia thought that when Barbara did have an emotional breakdown, it was going to be bad. Officer Moore told Barbara that an autopsy would be conducted. He said that she became upset and believed she should have a say in that decision. The officer thought that Barbara's reaction was unusual, but he felt she was probably overwhelmed by the situation. Police and fire personnel were concerned that Tim appeared not to attempt to move away from the flames. The fire marshal said that in his opinion, the candle wasn't the source of the fire. He said the fire burned rapidly on top of the bed and more intensely on the side where Tim was sleeping, which was the opposite side of where the candle was located. A few days after the incident, Barbara came in for an interview.
Hi, Mark.
Remember me that yesterday, I had some names on us. He said, thanks for coming down. We got a lot going on. And thanks actually for calling his name come early. So we were down there earlier. Your thoughts are about my pictures. It's not awesome. How's things going with the kids and everything today?
We went about the SSI benefits, so that kind of counts, trying to be the man of the house.
Thank you.
So he's doing about finances, all that stuff, but for me today, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, just with everything coming down.
Nervous about what, yeah, figuring out what happened, what's going on. Yesterday, talking about the arrangements and stuff, and we're supposed to get a call from, we're supposed to have his autopsy meeting today.
Okay.
So I've been anxious to have that call. I can be cool and collected and nothing bothers me, but this is really not stress. Just, this process and all.
Oh, thank you.
Right. So sometimes, in cases like this, the spark test, fire marshal, something to just get kind of help out to figure out what's going on. You know, these are sudden, everybody wants to know the answer. You're going to want answers, kind of what we find, not one key, they're going to want answers on what happened with him. So we come in with the benefit of we don't know anybody, you know, so we can ask a lot of questions about people and just don't know any history and all, but it's also
Thank you.
Because I don't know you and I got to get a little bit of background on you, and I know it's not the easiest to talk in some passive way, but I think it's important for you to get kind of an understanding of the house, the situation in last week.
Welcome to my channel. Thank you.
The morning when you left, that kind of stuff. So I'd like to kind of talk about that if you're up to it. You can kind of go through that. Okay, so tell me, I guess, about you and Tim. You guys been married very long?
18 years, sure, well, we'll get 18 years in October.
Okay. And you work, right? Where do you work at?
I work at Mercer Medical Center.
What do you do there?
Right now I'm circulating the OR.
Sounds fancy. What's that?
Basically, I do the charting and the instruments, I get the instruments and bring the patient back and then.
How long have you been out there? Is that here in Central?
It'll be 5 years in July. I did about 12 years of hospice.
Okay. That's tough.
I found it rewarding.
Yeah.
I've been diabetic since I was 16, so I need more structure. As much as I love the 3 12-hour days, not as productive as you think you could keep on those days, and just, you know.
Yeah, I guess so. You must be canceling for that then. Yeah.
Got 2 healthy kids.
Yeah. And that's, I'm right with that. Owen and Kate. And how old are they?
Owen was 16, and Kate will be 15 in June.
Okay. And biologically, what do you know?
He played the band.
Yeah, I saw the guitars. One question.
Yeah, played the band. And, my niece actually, we drove with this weekend, hit on him, but she was currently in a relationship, and he was just like, no. So he chased me for a while, and I was chasing somebody else, and it was kind of mean to him. But he should have got me used to it. And eventually, around a couple dates, and he was kind of a mom's boy, and he was throwing something with me. Got together, so lived right next door to his parents, and well, band, at that time, bands played every weekend.
Right.
2 nights a week, so he made decent money to live on, but not support family. But so he tended to his mom for the week and live in the band. Only was supposed to be our only child because it was so high risk. I had to plan him for my year, but okay, it was a little accident.
Yeah. Tim worked. Did he?
His he recently applied customer service. So when you called in, he's the one that you yelled at about why your bill was so much. So it was stressful on me, but honestly, I did practice with communicate. So
Yeah.
but I don't think it was that bad. Tell me some story, phone calls.
How was things going for him at work and at home?
No, he was stressed at work. At home, we were married 18 years. Just kind of we had different interests in mine, been doing different stuff. And he was playing with the band again, and we were just kind of in a lull, just kind of hovering.
Right. Yeah, so this is you've been through, so you kind of know those ups and downs.
Yeah.
And were you guys just still together, or were you guys thinking about going several ways, or?
I get,
I was wondering, I know you kind of sometimes see
sometimes fight, and I was one that every time, not just this year, other years when we fight, I try to believe we never even lose kids. I don't know that we were super strong and lovey-dovey, but we're still together.
No.
Not sure that happy we describe our relationship, but not unhappy.
Yeah.
We just kind of exist together.
Yeah, still sleep together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the dog.
Yeah, and the dog. Yeah, your dog got lucky to then. And then your kids sound like they're active in sports and so track.
On this soccer too, we hate soccer.
It's America and it's a tough year for everybody, but I mean, how are you guys sitting that way?
Well, probably a paycheck. We got behind our mortgage and refinance and some creditors, but they stress that stuff.
We guys able to find how around it was to handle.
He handled this for a while and let her and kind of half that standing back to me, but then he would pay certain moments. And there's passwords now that I don't know because they were going to do it.
Right.
I just kind of look a little too free to have a little online shopping.
Yeah, we all kind of have those things where.
Yeah, as much as we fought, I had it, issues with problems. We was usually supportive. Setting up, a couple of years ago when we thought I was doing bad things, I denied I didn't do anything. So he did
stuff out here, something like that.
part of soccer stuff, but I did.
It's just like some of the parents spend a lot of time with them.
And coach.
Coach,
Just because it's a new person and it's, friendly relationship and nothing ever happened. But in fact, accused me and he said if it did happen, he loved me and he forgave me, so.
So you guys argue, it's not just verbal arguments?
Yeah.
And then physical, so. Were they close with him or not?
Yes, very close. Especially. He has his dad's passion for music. Kind of self-play guitar.
Right.
Share the same crazy taste in music. And so, he's probably closer than Kate. Kate's the second me. A lot of times I don't have to say what I'm thinking because it's already came out of her mouth.
Hey.
She argued with her dad, or being impatient with her dad. But
Welcome in. Thank you.
the next day, I'll be back in the morning. Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, I don't mind. I'll show you in a second.
Figure out kind of what happened with the fire and kind of how we were going. I guess can you kind of talk about this weekend, I guess, with riding? Is that normal for Owen and with Deadwood for Watson?
Yeah, I'm more than the rest of us.
Was that late or after dinner?
No, it's before dinner, because then they could decide where we were going to order from. So finally, almost sent me a text to order Georgia mix.
They don't throw off at my dinner because you get a family then, or you kind of ready to go?
Just kind of where, I usually watch TV in the living room, and all like different things, and sometimes he sat in the bedroom and watched the ball game.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. May God continue to bless you as well.
He was out in the summer, strumming on one of his guitars. He liked to stay up late and listen. He had different shows. He loved to watch his music.
This is the product I use.
You know, you can find him on Netflix
All day
or something,
Locs.
some of the documentaries or a live concert. He's all about music. I hated his music.
How much is that?
Rush, Jack Beck, kind of, you know, a lot of times they suffer the table, but, you know, it's a night, and, goes in his room, plays Xbox, goes in the room, watches, there's her TV on the wall, but most of the time she watches whatever she wants on her phone, so no, I didn't really agree on shows either, so it was normal that we were different rooms doing everything.
You're welcome.
Are the kids aware that you guys are kind of gone apart?
Yeah, because of the last one of the fights a couple weeks ago, they finally said, you guys be happy you're apart, but I mean, in the next 2 weeks will be, you know, so
Did you think your last meeting was a couple weeks before?
probably we're finances, I don't know, that can always stress us out.
Right. Is that what you have seen maybe stress? Is more or mainly the finances?
Probably a combination of both. My mom actually told me how stressed he was at work.
And then what time do you hear back to bed?
I understand, probably wouldn't do it tomorrow.
Either 11:30 and you said 10 was still awake.
Yeah.
And both kids are home by then.
Yeah, I think probably right about 10 minutes. Actually, I woke them up for about 5:30.
Do they know you're going to go to the game or do you guys drive them or how about it?
No, they drive themselves to the bus and most of them.
Okay. So do you remember Tim coming to bed at all?
No. But we had a shirt on about 2, 3 o'clock. And he was in bed then.
Yeah, 5:30 when you got up. Does he wake up with your alarm?
No.
Do you guys talk at all?
No.
Do you have plans getting up on with you?
Well, usually he sets his own alarm and we'll get up. If he's gonna go and, you know, I know I make plenty of noise. I had a light on and I waited for the kids to get all their stuff done. I cooked them some eggs and had some cinnamon rolls. So I made them some breakfast because I had a long day and, went and took a shower once they left. And I got a shower and I said, "Are you going with me?" And he said he would go with me. And we'll go from there, so it's
What time do you travel?
probably 6:30, 7:15.
Is that kind of shop that you go or?
No, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
He wasn't one that was like supposed to go all the time. So we always kind of felt like if they had at least one parent there, we never, you know, we did travel basketball and different things. We always felt like they got hurt one of us should be there. I don't know if it was having the windows open, but all of a sudden just with dog smell, it's just, you know, it's getting.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't really came.
Okay. Do you remember, tell me about that, I guess.
I had it in the bathroom, I think. He just said it was nauseated and the smell really bothered me, so when I left, I said it on his nightstand to try to get rid of that, because she had been sleeping there on the pile of clothes beside his bed.
So what time did you left?
We left at 7. My goal was to be in home before 7, and then it was about 2 hours. And then I had to stop to get some gas, I didn't want to make it all early.
Did you talk to anybody on the phone? Did you meet up with any other moms? Something like that?
Well, got some cash from Farmer's Bank and
Just the ATM then?
yeah.
Were you able to get cash?
Yeah.
So when you were heading out of town, I guess when you left, you seen the smoke or putting the candle in the room and kind of checking on him and saying he's not there? Like the last thing you did before you left, right? And then you went out. Then you went and got cash. So tell me about your drive then. Did you catch up the bus? Did you see anybody? How far did you get? You said you didn't notice anything.
Are you in Cleveland? How's the weather?
Well, I was north of Gordon, and I don't know the name.
Was that somebody telling you that there was an issue at your house, or?
My first one was Kate. She had screenshotted a Facebook thing from Shelby. The house was on fire.
Okay. What did you do next time you saw that?
Well, I pulled over and tried to make some phone calls. I think I tried to talk to her, and our phone got cut off. Because I didn't know, should I go get my kids? Because they were freaking out, you know. They don't want to do. Yeah, my first instinct is to protect my kids.
So what were you doing on the phone then?
And my house was on fire. But then I asked me, you know, where we were at, but she didn't know. And I remember schooling out Tim's in the house.
Did you ever try to call him?
No.
You know what anybody did?
I know when I didn't answer for my mom, she did. Because if she can't get a hold of me, she'll call Tim. And he didn't answer, so she was freaking out. I don't know if anybody else did or not.
And then, what did you do next?
Well, I finally figured out that I should turn around. So, she was back. I guess I just assumed it was normal when moving.
And then, I guess you got back, what did you see? You got home?
I think I got a text or a call from Owen, and the neighbor kid had told him that he was the news in the Andes. So maybe that's when I tried to call back in again. And she told me I just needed to come to the house. She didn't tell me. And so when I pulled up, I parked and I could tell by the look on Adrian's face. For sure.
And that's a lot for him. And like I said, our judge kind of pieced together to figure out what happened. And you said when you're out, you watched a lot of CSI shows. What do you think maybe happened?
I don't know. I know that Mike was nice enough to fulfill my wish, or not wish, my request.
Thank you.
Singing. And I,
Oh, it's cold.
oh God. You have no idea.
How cold?
My dad didn't want to. I mean, we're gonna cremate him. That's not what I would have picked in this scenario. That whole fire thing just flips me out. I mean, still smoke now. Or mom's neighbors were having a bonfire Saturday night. No, we should be on the edge to go do that. My husband now can't say we were back in love, but I love you. I never wish that upon anybody. Even not knowing. It's crazy.
And it's kind of like, you can't remember how much talk with people.
She don't sound sad to me.
Somehow, start out talking.
Yeah. I know. Is that from Circle K? I need to see the video of her going to get that. She probably was dancing, thinking that she got away with something.
We need to discuss because the science is there. We're pretty good at determining things that are going to happen. But it's the candle that you got to tell me that was not. It's not the candle. We have to figure out what else is there that might have started the fire.
Oh man. Yeah, it's cold. Stay warm, friend.
Somehow house on fire, it doesn't sound right. So, we need to look at all those aspects.
Hi, welcome in. Thank you for watching.
You saw or heard something, help us with the investigation too, because, we're going to put things together and it's going to come out and we want to make sure that people understand. Not only jump to conclusions.
Yeah, it came out a couple months ago, 3 months ago actually. It was a new style called Miracle Knots. If you look it up, you'll see it everywhere.
Look at everybody, you know, if that's what you're thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, you've already been doing it a long time, you know. We'll get it moving, that's what I'm out. You must appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, I'm just.
But I'm also a realist, you know, so I look at things and I prepare myself for it. If things come back different, or I consider another explanation that I'm missing, you know. Sometimes the facts come together in a case and in one direction. You know, black and white might look
About 3 hours.
Story, and that's my job to talk.
3-4 hours.
Wasn't that well with them. People are going to say that, would you agree?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
probably just, Tim, I'm more social for people that I like. Tim was just, you know, when I'm talking to him, he talked to you.
Finance is a little tough. You know, it definitely work. Look like you get behind a little bit on your house.
Well, they financed, 6 months behind. So we did a long program. So we had gotten that back on track. That was just.
Yeah, the main thing that hurts on me is my feet and my back. My hands don't hurt, just feet and back. Hi, welcome in. Thank you for joining.
Do you guys have life insurance?
Is an interested about his policy. Mine, I'm kind of aware of my diabetes. I think there's 100,000 on me, plus I have 2 years of my salary. And I'm thinking of mine, his was just a year and a half. And so with their increments, we looked at going up more, but they'll only allow you to go to 25,000. So I had opted for mine, and he got approved. And that was just something that we had talked about, because brother died younger. And I really thought I had more on Tim before, but
I wish. They a little tone, but I still got a little flab.
Things were taken care of.
They alright.
I have extra on the kids. I think I have 25,000 pieces on the kids just to cover this something that happened.
What were you doing on that? Alright.
They were paying for 200,000.
So I appreciate more that, because that's the stuff we're going to find out. You know, like I said, kind of on the DCA from the bank, not familiar with that, we work investigations, and then we can only do them one way. So no matter what, if somebody dies, we only want to call for, you know, case that's to the full extent. So we can't come in here and just spend a day and go, we'll spend it and do like all our checks on the boxes, right? So, you know, that we work out stuff like that, and kind of stuff, and that it's a good idea. Well, where you're at, so, you know, where you're at, you know, that's something that's gonna call, like I said, so that's why I'm asking those questions of where you think you're at. You know, go back and, you know, see if you have that house with the time on her, and glad. Is there any concerns you have about, you know, like, fine, like, you want to get out now? Anything that, any nasty text messages you guys send each other, or anything like that?
Actually, our conversations were better with text, you know. We weren't being around and not talk. But, you know, I don't walk your stuff or throw this in the trash. That's how we communicated, was through text messages. There were no bad text, you know. Trying to work it all through, redoing it. And I came out and setting much involving. Could you vacuum? Could you do this and that?
Well, you're trying to screw mom and it's kind of.
Yeah. So I had a few words that day. Some kids said you would be happy to. I decided to get to a little unemployment and then get to it.
My goal here in this is to prepare myself for what I think that maybe information is going to come out now how to from the fire investigation. It's not going to be correlated with information you're giving us. And the reason I say that is that I want to be able to talk about that a little bit because I can understand. Starts with home and with people and how relationships and trying to try for years to make right. And sometimes they won't get right. And no matter what you do, there's and you had financing on top of that. There
Thank
was
you.
stress going on. Would be the first person I talked to about one was taking funds for a relationship. Because I don't think the candle started fine.
I charge $150, and then the hair costs the most. The hair is probably like $200, but you could reuse it. So that's the plus behind the hair, is that it's human. You can reuse it many times.
My planner conversation used to buy the whole cutting and pulling everything out, even in that shape, it just.
And I just got to look at the totality of all that information and try to figure out what's going on and if there's other explanations for it. Because what I think is that maybe we're not being completely truthful about the interactions in the morning. I think just causing there a little bit of inconsistencies on our conversation. So that's my job. It's not fact finding. My concern is that there's going to be facts that come up that suspect of something else happening. And maybe I might jump to the wrong conclusion. You know, if there's something.
Thank you. Try to be affordable, you know.
You know, I need to know that because I wasn't there, so I can't interject and maybe speculate or I can't or facts through this. And it's not.
Thank you. Clock it. Or is it like this?
I don't know. And then the autopsy comes back and there's
Thank you.
concerns with the medical thing I have. I got to be prepared to deal with that. You understand how that works. They don't toxicology and that kind of stuff. No, it's just
Kiara, they say your hair is tea. I know, right? I know, right? You feel heavy already with knotless, especially Loc braids. Yeah, and you have like 100 pieces of your hair so far right now. So, yeah.
things that was happening. You tend not maturity in a certain way. There's some way that maybe you're grasping onto a hope that there's a way to get
Okay, got it. Clock that too.
Find some things to the autopsy so you didn't die at the fire. And there's going to be the fire guys are going to tell us that the fire didn't start at the candle. And it's going to be my guy to sit here and say, okay, this was planned and something that Barb thought about for a long time. Maybe it was one of those things I just can't take life anymore. And it's the one thing I thought I could do to keep my family and keep and Kate with me. I get that, I understand that. But I think that's what we're going to find out more. And I guess I'd rather hear that from you, so I can use a little emotion with that instead of black and white. Because I think maybe something happened in the night or in the morning that you didn't know what to do now. I think things just steamrolled. And maybe looking back, you could change things to what I think you're a good person.
Thank you.
You will change. But the information that you give us is not gonna correlate with what you have in the show.
Yeah, I've been booking up off of this, so it's been a blessing, guys. It's been a big blessing for me. It was slow season, and this style came out. I was like, I'll do it for $150. Let's go. Takes me 3 hours. Let's do it. Booked up. God is good. He always makes a way out of no way. Gotta be obedient, gotta be patient, gotta be ready to take on new things. And I said, put me in, coach.
These are the things that come out of right? People can say, oh, she just wanted the money, it's life insurance. You know, I'm not gonna, she wanted to hang on because he didn't treat her well, he didn't do anything, he was lazy. Cool.
wanted one of my kids to have their father.
Even if things gonna happen, the medical examiner calls them up, because I don't even think there's a call, but you know, he's gonna tell me there's some concerns here in his body.
I don't know.
What? I don't know.
I just left.
And I don't think that that's gonna be possible for anybody in his life.
He wasn't snoring.
And I think the medical examiner's not get rid of that. I'm talking right now, but I don't, one thing that's relatively is that that's the true story. Including some things out, because I see some pretty bad stuff. But I should go to that and think that they were that artists wanted the money because she wanted her kids are almost out of school, she wanted to do it, and she's wanting the money to live her life that she didn't get. And those are the things that come out. When I look at you, I see moms work butt off all the years trying to put their house with their kids. I see the bills coming out. I see Tim saying that he wants a divorce and he's going to leave here. The kids want to go with him, and you're losing everything that you worked so hard for. And you might come crumbling down. And I think they're looking for out. And I think that's what it feels like. I think it is an out. I think we'll find out what happened to Tim medically. And I think we'll find out that the viral set afterwards cut that out. Tim might have been quiet towards you, but he wasn't quiet to other people about his relationship problems. He talked about the issue you guys had there. And I put it with the access to access to that. And I had to add all that up to see what it looks like. It's heavily weighted that you're at fault here. You all know that. I just don't want to give the wrong situation. I don't want to get the true story out there that this wasn't because you were angry. This wasn't because you were upset. I don't think that this was done for the reason that you think they were. And I think I know. I think it's for your children. I think you really thought this was the best thing to do. Get them money that you need to survive. Keep the house, keep the kids. 30 years for them to get separated anyhow, but you know what's coming.
Yeah, but in this kind of relationship, probably for the last 5 years, just existing.
And that's not a good place.
No, it's not.
So you want to divorce and couldn't afford to get divorced? Is that a problem? That was a conversation I'm sure you had.
I had that conversation with my 2 close friends. You know, financially we couldn't separate. Financially, you not only what we do the house. I could afford bills, but I couldn't afford to kids to have their home. Yeah. But we just existed that way, and that's the way we were.
And look out, Tim's money coming in. You wouldn't be able to do it by yourself, right?
Right. But like I said, every time that we got to that point, you know, I'm like, why don't you just leave? He wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave his kids.
In fact, he wanted to keep his kids.
Right.
And maybe he was even trying to get one on his side.
And I told that David when he said, Mom, I didn't too, just would you be happier separated? I said, honestly, I had stayed this long because I wasn't sure you could go with me. Because he was closer to his dad. Because his dad was the easygoing one, and I'm the one who yelled at in the room.
But you're also the one that goes to all the tournaments and get his laundry done and get all that.
Well, I'll take that laundry most days.
And I get that. So at the same time, you're dealing with that struggle where like you're going to be so much over years. Now dad, just because one of your buddies, all the things, trying to separate the family. I can understand. I can understand what things out of control. I wouldn't understand how.
Honestly, it didn't work into this point.
We're going to track all that back. And it's going to prove that something.
The only thing that can prove it is I didn't go through court and I cut through Russell.
Why didn't you tell me that?
I told him that Saturday. But I don't know.
What me understand?
I cut through there so I could drive faster because I was running behind. I don't exactly know what time I left town. But I stopped and got $200 out of the farmer's bank. I didn't do anything.
You started the fire.
No, I didn't. I set the candle there.
And the camera didn't start the fire.
Then I don't know.
But look at it from our side.
I know that.
The fire starts moments after you're gone. Your neighbors are over there trying to pound on the window. Tim's not responsible. The dog still does. But Tim doesn't.
I don't know why the dog did it. I don't know why this happened.
And I think I'm the answer I think you do. I want to be able to put your story on your bar. I want people to understand what happened. Because the truth's going to come out, and it's going to be my evidence on it. And that's what I do. I want more. I want us to be sure to know the full truth about it. I don't have to ask these hard questions like, oh, and I don't want to sit Kate, figure out what going on that night, and asking all the questions. I want to talk to them.
One night was a peaceful night. I baked some cookies and did all that, and he did
nothing.
No, I'm not saying he didn't do nothing. That night he went for a walk. I don't know if he took the trash out or not. He took over the laundry.
And Tim and
I don't know, they went for a walk. No, I don't know. I yelled at the kids to get your stuff ready. So, because I know that half the time we can't find you. And you have to dig through stuff. And at 6, we had to be somewhere at 6:30. I didn't want that to happen. I'm not going to sit there and say I can't run home. Just because I might be off 5 or 10 minutes or whatever. I did not.
Yeah, and I think the investigation is going to show our way, but I'm confident that I wouldn't sit here and tell you that if I wasn't fully confident.
Hey, welcome in.
We're at the doctors. We know we have strong concerns on what happened. I have some strong concerns about the stories that you're doing because they've changed. I think when it comes out that the fire started and you leave and you drive away, maybe you weren't why those neighbors have to be outside. Because you didn't leave at 6:00, you were up at 7:15. Okay, and I'll tell us who went down to the bank. Tim's going to have a camera show you what time you got your money. Cell phone records going to show where you're at and get the phone calls. I think everybody's calling you. I think you're scared to answer.
No, I wasn't. My phone was not working. I got text or voicemails today from Saturday because in the night I did some kind of update. Because I'm like, how did I miss 7 voicemails? And they're from like Saturday. That weren't there before.
It's something up to tell me they're connected or not. I don't need you to tell me if they made a 10 call or not.
I called Verizon last night trying to get access to his phone because he had all these pictures of the kids. The phone was broke. I wanted that. Only reason because she told me I'd have a court order and everything else. So when they tell you that, that was the reason. The kids have been trying to call his voicemail to record it and it goes not out of the system. I asked him how to get that back.
And I'm sure you are. I'm sure that you're trying to do things with Owen and Kate and getting them squared away. And we can't get past what happened Saturday morning. But it's not going to go away no matter how much we try to spin a story or see things happen this way. You know, maybe at the house, he went up in flames and collapsed on himself. We wouldn't know things. You know, he was not that deep running. The doctor's able to do the examination on the conclusions. You know, you get called by your daughter and their house is on fire. You call him and see if he's okay. You don't call him because you know he's right there.
No, I didn't know. I
That's
was just
exactly
trying
what
to take care of. No.
That's exactly what somebody does. When somebody calls and says, my house on fire when I left and my husband's in there.
And I asked him what fire trucks and everything else was there. Because that was something that Kate had said. Mom, there's a fire at the house and they're there.
And at least Mike and I did think, okay, they've had a problem with their marriage since 2010. Tim's expressed concerns to family members that the divorce was imminent. Things they weren't getting along very well. And maybe Bart did plans for months or weeks. Maybe it was that cold and calculated. Because I think that's what the evidence is going to show us all. No, when I talk with people in the room, I guarantee we cannot change what things happen, but we can go back in time. I like to hear people say that I wish it wouldn't have went that far. You know, at least give me the information that they feel bad about. That's, I don't think I'm sitting across one person that has any of those concerns. And that concerns me. I think in your mind, you're truly trying to do what you thought was best. It would help us understand.
I don't know if you just understand. Are you arresting me today?
I'm here to listen to you.
I don't know what you want to tell me.
That's what I'm going to do today. I'm here to tell you that I have talked to people like you before that have been in situations like this, that I'm going to push up against the wall and things didn't work out like we were planning. I tried to talk with him to figure out why. I know how it happened. I know when it happened. I'm pretty sure you know exactly where and what time it happened. That's gonna come out. I'm gonna have all those facts, but what if someone misses the why part? And that's what everybody's gonna want to know. And why did this happen? I want to hear people write that in the story. I don't want to just use the who, what, when, where. I want to know why things happen. That's important. It's not necessary. We can go forward with our case with the evidence we have, and it looks pretty damn. I think these add up. And as human beings, we can only take so much. And then we have to go into what can I do to keep some sense of normalcy? How can I keep my house? How can I keep my kids? You know, make choices. Help me understand how we got to where we did. Or you shake your head at me all night. What was the breaking point?
How did you make the story? It didn't have a breaking point.
You understand what I'm coming from? You understand what
They're trying to find a motive.
you understand.
Dang.
You watch these TV shows. You're in the medical field. You know they're going to be able to toxicology, do that, and that's going to come back on you. The fire didn't destroy his body. That's going to come back to you. And it's just going to be evidence.
I don't understand. So I would take me through it. What led up to that decision? Because you know.
Hi, you want to see what it looks like so far? Is that what you're saying?
Something happened that morning for you to sign up for this. I don't know if it was the timing of the school and not wanting to go. It was just the opportunity.
Being happy and depressed with life.
We're past that. But no, Mike and I are telling you, we're way past on whether this happened by you bought it or not. We know that this happened.
Okay, so you made up
You freely? It's not going to change things so far.
It'll just go on into another day.
What's going to happen?
I don't know what to tell you.
What am I supposed to tell the home?
I don't know.
What am I supposed to tell the sisters? What happens when Tom dies if maybe is what?
I don't know. Honestly, have any answers and I don't.
Good one. At this point, I can see your cell phone and you don't want your big right now. That is one. First one. So I'll make your cell phone.
Work for it now?
What's that? I'm seizing them right now. So we signed it. No, you, no, no. You hold it right now. I need to get the work on it.
You're not going home, friend.
Barbara left the police station. She and the kids lived with her mother as the fire was still under investigation. The results of the autopsy.
New house.
Chief Demery said the medical examiner found no smoke inhalation in Tim's lungs, meaning he was deceased before the fire. Tim and Barbara's son, Owen, asked to speak with the police. Officer Moore met with him at the station. Owen said that the evening before the fire, he and his father had gone on a walk, and Tim had expressed to him that a divorce from his mother would be happening soon. Owen said that his parents' relationship had recently been bad, with fights occurring more often than not. He believed that his mother had something to do with Tim's death. Detectives then spoke with other family and friends of the Pazos.
Thank you.
Sonia, a friend of Barbara, said that she and Barbara had gone out to eat one evening about 2 weeks before the fire. Sonia said they were discussing stuff going on in their life, and out of the blue, Barbara stated loudly that she was upset with Tim. She discussed a pending divorce and her concerns about who the kids would want to live with. She also mentioned their financial struggles. Sonia said that Barbara would spend a lot of time shopping for herself, her kids, and her friends. Spending money was one of her favorite things to do. During the conversation,
You are not alone, Barbara.
and if she wanted to get rid of someone, she knew she
Shopping is my favorite thing to do too.
Tim's friend Rich said Barbara wanted people to know how much she was giving or how much she was doing. She tried to portray herself as the perfect mom and the perfect family. Police located documentation showing that the Paza home was nearing foreclosure. Credit card bills were past due, and Barbara had maxed out Tim's life insurance. She had also increased the amount on the homeowner's insurance policy. Officer Moore said that Tim was worth a lot more to her dead than alive. The day following the interview with Barbara, dispatch received a 911 call from her mother's residence advising that Barbara was having seizure-like symptoms. She was suffering from an overdose and was transported to a hospital in Des Moines. With Barbara recovering, detectives focused on finding evidence that she orchestrated her husband's death. The standard toxicology test found no foreign substances, so the medical examiner ordered a more thorough lab test. The results showed elevated levels of a drug named propofol.
We are doing four bundles this time, which is 200 strands for this look.
Investigators spoke with staff at the hospital where Barbara worked. They explained how propofol was administered and disposed of. Propofol is stored in single-use vials, which must be disposed of regardless of whether the entire contents were used. Barbara would have had access to trace amounts of unused propofol. In fact, she was responsible for disposing of the vials. Police recovered the ATM footage of Barbara. The video placed her in Centerville, 2 minutes from her home, at 7:25 a.m. Less than 10 minutes later, at 7:33, her neighbor made the 911 call. When Barbara was released from the hospital, officers were there to arrest her. On May 18, 2018, Barbara Paso was charged with first-degree murder and first-degree arson. On September 17, 2019, the trial began. According to the defense, the police arrested the wrong person.
Players mess up too.
They implicated a fellow nurse who lived nearby as somebody who could have entered the residence and injected Tim with propofol. Police determined that the nurse had left home that morning at 5:30 a.m. and was not in the area when the incident occurred. Barbara took the stand. She showed emotion and talked about some of her past traumatic experiences and claimed that she would not have taken her children's father from them. Sonia said that Barbara tried to convince people that she was not the evil person everybody knows her to be. Rich said that her tears were phony. The entire thing was phony. The jury deliberated for 3 hours and returned guilty verdicts. The judge sentenced her to life without parole. Chief Milburn said that the sentence was not a win. There are 2 children without a father or mother, and they will remember this forever. Sonia said Tim should be remembered for the proud dad he was. She said he would be beyond proud of the lives they're living and all their successes. The town of Centerville raised over $20,000 for the kids. They now live with family members and have no contact with their mother. For more never-before-seen cases, click one of the videos on screen or the links in the pinned comment. Goodbye for now.
A 15-year-old girl was gunned down in her own home. It was first reported as an accident, but the truth was far more shocking.
If I look in your eyes and I tell you this bull, then there's someone else that's child.
This is Inside the Crime presented
Thank
by
you.
Law Crime. I'm Elizabeth Moore. Before we get to this case, there's a reason that Law Crime is a go-to spot for true crime content. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest personal injury law firm. They have more than 1,000 attorneys and have recovered $25 billion from more than 500,000 clients. In the past few months alone, a client in Florida received $12 million. The insurance offered just $350,000. And in Pennsylvania, another client was awarded $26 million, 40 times the insurer's offer. Morgan & Morgan makes it so easy to fight for what you deserve. You can even start a claim from your phone. So if you're injured, you can start a claim at forthepeople.com/insidethecrime. Click the link below or scan the QR code on the screen. The shooter was ready to pin his crime on someone else until the cover-up fell apart. It's April 14, 2024. We're in Dayton, Ohio. It's just before 12:30 p.m. when the 911 call hits dispatch. Repeat it, please. What are you doing? Who shot her? Ma'am, can you hear me? Where's the person with the gun? Who shot her? Ma'am, hello? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Ma'am?
Yeah, this is the person I'm talking to. Where are they at?
Ma'am, where? You got to with Colgate talking to a bus stop. Please, please. She's like 15 years old, please.
Yes, sir. I already have it in, okay?
Oh my God, no, oh my God.
She got shot with a what? 12 gauge shotgun? What the heck?
Yes, sir. You already have it in, okay?
How?
My stepson, he's autistic. He had no, it was an accident, man. He's autistic. He had no idea what he was doing.
Officers rush over to the address, and that's where they find 15-year-old Kendra Farler
Accident.
unresponsive.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Please tell me she's not safe, please. He's autistic. He had no idea what he was doing.
Why does he have the gun? And why is it loaded? And why is there no safety or anything? This is crazy.
There was blood everywhere. Officers tried to save Kendra's life, but they confirmed it was too late. So now they needed to piece together what happened. While the 911 caller named Kendra's brother as the shooter, officers still needed to do their own investigation.
Who are you? Are you a neighbor? Okay. Yes, sir. Putting everybody in. Yeah. I got the firearm here. Did you see it here? Okay. Hair's coming up. Alright. Who's inside? How old is it?
He was downstairs. He came up. He went to this room, and there's a bunch of people in here, but we can't get to them.
You first, gentlemen, sir. Come on, come with me. Okay? Is there any other firearms in this room? Knives? I've got a couple knives. No more firearms. Okay. Come on. This one, baby. This one. Oh, here we go. Oh my God. I gotta give her a kiss. Man, I gotta give her a kiss. Oh my God. Sorry, come on. I know. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on. After everyone's out, let's get out and protect the suite. Yep.
He shot her with a shotgun. It's over. Like,
Okay. Come on, sir. Come on, please. Bader, will you take him? Yep. Go with that officer there. What? No.
pull your pants up. Oh my goodness. And you're resisting?
Come on, I know. Who are you doing? Talk to me. You're what? Oh, your mom? Are you mom? What's your name? Jennifer, do you have anything else on you that I need to know about? No? I'm just going to do a quick look together. Step right in here.
Hey.
Just swing it.
Research on it is looked at or discussed the call. Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. Take a breath. Take a breath. Deep breaths. Work with me here, okay? Okay. Now listen. Deep breath. Deep breath. I understand. Deep breath. There you go. All right. Deep breath. What is your name? Jennifer.
Kendra's stepmom, Jennifer, was completely shaken by the shooting. So distraught, she initially could barely respond to the officer's questions. But after a few minutes, she shared revealing details that helped paint a clearer picture.
Was she sitting down?
She was standing at the door.
At the door? Okay. Who was the friend that brought it in? Greg brought it in? Okay. So is that Dad? No. Dad's friend was Greg. Who's Dad?
Dad's Kenny.
Kenny? Okay. So Kenny's dad, Greg's the friend who brought it down there. Does Greg live with you guys?
He lives in the other room.
The one across the hallway?
Across the hallway. Yeah, across the hallway.
So the one by the stairs?
The people up the stairs, there's 3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
There's above the window. I can't even do a floor.
Okay. So that's at the one at the end of the hall. If you come up the stairs, you go right.
You go upstairs, you turn left, and he's going right
But the dog?
No, the dog's left.
The dog's yours, but that's the room he lives in. Okay. Okay. It's fine, okay?
And who else was in Kenny's room? So everybody's kind of, you said you were there, so you were kind of talking to them. And that was in, just 100% correct, that's in Kenny's room. And then what happens? Okay, so you didn't, you guys hadn't left the room or anything? But this happened in Greg's room, right? Because Kenny's telling me that's Greg's room. That's what it's telling me. But I didn't see a couch anywhere. He's saying it's his, is why I'm wondering. Because you guys said you're sitting on the couch, right? So the room you're talking about is where Kendra's laying. When you go in, there's a couch right there, and then past the couch is a bed, correct? Do you know if it's Greg's room or Kenny's room? No, you're fine. I just want to make sure you get the details right. So this was in Greg's room. So he didn't bring, did he bring you out?
So, was Greg, Kenny, looking in the room was happening? So you were in the most. Who's the last person you saw at
Kendra's Uncle Greg is still on scene, but he tells officers he was asleep at the time of the shooting.
Okay, I got my walk over here, my car's over here, all right? Do you have any weapons or anything like that? Okay. Okay.
Hey, welcome in. How are you?
I'm gonna get the air conditioner in here, okay, so you don't get too hot.
Neighbors were stepping outside to see what was happening, and then came the gut-wrenching moment Kendra's grandmother showed up.
If I hear something else, I'll get with you. They know it's on the radar. So, hopefully we can.
No, she wasn't.
So, no, that's kind of where we're at, right? But,
No, she's not. No, she's not. No, she's not. They were. No, she's not. No. 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 I'm the grandma. I was bringing my son food.
is your son?
Craig. Okay. What is going on? What's happened? Please, God, no, don't tell me. No.
Right now, we're figuring it out.
Where is
So, right now, we have a well, right now, like I said, we have a okay? Because we have people here.
Man, that's sad.
Anything else that comes through, I will put you in touch with people that know more than me.
At this point, it appeared everyone who was inside the home at the time of the shooting were in the back of police cars, including Kendra's dad.
Whenever something like this happens, this severe, we have to isolate everyone. I understand it's hard. That's why we're doing it. Okay? If it were any other situation, you would want us to do things procedurally correct. Correct? And that time will come.
Officials confirmed it was Kenny who was on the 911 call saying his nonverbal stepson on the autism spectrum accidentally shot his stepsister.
I don't even know how to feel. She's a great kid. She doesn't do nothing wrong. She's so smart.
I have questions like, why did the kid with autism on the spectrum have a shotgun? That don't even make sense, do it?
Or like they're all in the same room.
Yeah.
You can do it. I know you don't understand. You don't know any better. He plays Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty stuff on Xbox, and I don't know. He's sitting on the bed.
Your best bet is going to be deep conditions. You're going to need to do deep conditions every time you wash and to get the hair back healthy and used to capturing moisture. So that's what I would say. I'm not no hairstylist or nothing, but that's what I would say.
I gotta call her mother's family. I gotta call her mother's family.
One of these officers have my phone.
I'll get back to you, okay?
When I get out, can you get my phone? He lets me out, so I can call her out.
We'll call, we'll see, okay? I have come back and figure out what's very important. They make the calls.
I'm only going with my wife. I'm only with my wife.
Yeah.
Regarding my wife now.
I'm actually not sure. I know she's in Florida before.
Really bad. Crap myself.
This is the father right now. If you want to speak with the preacher here.
No, I want to speak with my wife. I'm never going to be religious until I do that all. But all she's going to do is good.
That's a lot of times like they come out. They're like excited, waiting how.
What's going on? You think she's gone?
We did everything we could.
Oh my God.
I need my wife and my brother. I need my wife and my father.
Oh my God, I love you so much. I love you so much.
Do you want to talk with your wife earlier? Just make sure because they're going to send them elsewhere. So I'll make sure.
No, I want to speak with my wife and my brother and my grandmother. That's what I want to do.
Okay, so
I need to be with my family.
you talk to your wife right now, okay?
I need to be with my family.
It's now a little after 2:30 p.m. and Kim is brought into an interrogation room where the questions start getting tougher because investigators believe someone's lying.
Now, check this out. Let's talk to you out there at the scene. All right? I was going to talk to you more because you guys were being honest. Don't start. Listen to me first. All right? Your story made no sense. We were in your business. We spoke obviously to grade 2. All right? You know, we just got to talk to your wife. So we go, hold on, be quiet. And she told us the truth. Okay? The truth we already knew. About what? About what happened to Kendrick. Give me a moment here, we'll go over your rights. I did talk to you earlier, talk to you with Max and Cruiser. I got some general information from you, who lives where, all that good stuff, who was in the room. You go upstairs, you go to the right, that's where it's from. You go to the left, that's my room. Whose room did this happen? It happened in my room. Okay. Outside my room. What do you mean outside your room? She was in the hallway. All right, Ken, this is what we're going to do, okay? Whose shotgun is that? Whose shotgun is it? The truth. It's yours. How long have you had that shotgun?
It's called Miracle Knots.
Couple days. Where did you get it? You just got off the street? You have any other guns? You know how to buy some out of it? or semi-auto handgun. I don't know if it's intercepted fire. I haven't seen it. I did. It's gone. So if there's any other guns in your room, which are those ones? Do what? You want to know about any other guns in your room? Okay. So you have to go in about a couple of days, go sometime on the street. The room that happened is your room, correct? And that would be the room that has the couch, the bed, and the TVs in it. And that's where Kendra was at, correct? All right. Ken, I want to give you an opportunity to be completely honest about everything. Because I tell you what, and look at me. Look, I don't care if you can see me well or not. If I would look in your eyes and I tell you this, it's bullshit to say this on an autistic child. Who had nothing to do with this. You heard exactly what I said. I'm giving you the opportunity right now to come clean about what actually happened, because I know what happened. No, that's your job to do, tell me, because you couldn't keep your story straight. You already lied to me about the shotgun, you lied to me about the room. I lied to you about the shotgun. You're right, you shouldn't have. But now, let's be honest about the rest of the story. It's time to man up. I understand. And you're willing to do this to him? Do this to him? Yeah. I think it's the ball. You're right. Because he never had the shotgun, you did. Henry told you to put it down. It's time to be a man. Admit what happened. I told you where your wife's at. She was sitting in the room right next to you over there. We just got to talk. She was placed right back in the room right next door to you before we brought you out. That's where she's at. And you're telling me she said I did this? Absolutely. This is amazing. She told the truth. This is my dog. Yeah, I heard you sit there and talk about that when you sat down. That's why I told you to stay quiet. Because I got to stand and sit there and listen to you talk that bull. Really responsible for her death. He's a man. Then be a man and talk about it. I mentioned it is. But you can't do this to that kid has been hard enough like already. Not enough for him to come around people thinking that he's responsible for this.
So the boy ain't do it. Wow.
Kids, I'm gonna calm down for a second. Alright? I know it's hard, and believe me, it pisses me off to no end. But you need to just be a man, be honest with what happened. How did this happen?
Backed into a corner and out of fake explanations he's been hiding behind, the truth is finally revealed.
Okay. And when I was injecting the shells, nothing came out. So you were like ragging the shotgun, they all ragging the shotgun? Like injecting the shells out. And nothing was coming out? Nothing came out. Nothing came out when I did it. And the last time, Hey, Kendra. Let me ask you this. Will you fight around things down ever? No. Jennifer said you were. I didn't point it at her. I was hoping Jennifer would, I was just, I hoped I had. She said you were messing with her. Kendra was telling you to put the gun down. No, that's not true. That is not true. Why would she say it? Maybe she just wasn't paying attention exactly what was going on. Or maybe you just were 100% certain in your head that the gun was pointing. But I didn't actually, there was no point in nothing like that. I had it like this. And I'm not saying you had to put it in your shoulder. I pushed the lever up. I pumped it 6 times. And normally it ejects all the shells out of it. And it did. And when I pulled the pump forward the last time, I don't know if my finger was on the trigger. I really honestly don't remember it. It went on. There's no point when you pointed at Kendra. No, there was one. Did she ever tell you to put the gun down? But that's not that. What do you do? What did you do after the shot went off? I dropped that and straight to where I grabbed too much shirt. I started going and I started screaming, call 911. Yeah, I started giving her CPR. My wife was
No, I haven't. What's that?
medical assistant, and she learned, all that stuff, and she came over and started helping me CPR. Did you talk to 911 on the phone? Yes, I did. At what point did you tell Jennifer to say that I did this? Was it after the 911 call? That was terrible. I didn't do this, Brad. Ken. Do you have any other shotgun shells in your room? Yeah, where were they at? They were on my body, they were inside of the room. Did you do anything at all with the shotgun after the shooting? Did you try to unload it any further to see if there's anything else in it at all? I just something that happened. The same place that happened. I ran straight to the
Kenny faced charges of involuntary manslaughter, reckless homicide, endangering children, and multiple counts of having weapons while under disability. Montgomery County Prosecutor Matt Peck said in an April 2024 statement, this defendant was on probation at the time of the shooting, having been convicted of trafficking cocaine less than a month ago. He's been arrested approximately 40 times over the past 20 years, and has previously been sentenced to the penitentiary. This defendant should never be allowed anywhere near a firearm and deserves to be in prison. A completely innocent 15-year-old girl has lost her life at the hands of her father. More than a year after the fatal shooting, Kenny pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter, reckless homicide, endangering children, plus other firearm-related charges because of his past felony convictions. On May 18, 2025, an Ohio judge sentenced him to up to 28 and a half years in prison. Online records with the Ohio Department of Corrections show that King Collier is serving his sentence in a women's correctional institution. His earliest scheduled release date is for December of 2047. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Inside the Crime. I'm Elizabeth Miller.
our story begins in Longmont, Colorado. On the afternoon of October 13, 2021, 911 emergency dispatch received an alarming call.
911, I got the emergency. Yes, hi, I'm at 2 Cicely Circle. I need an ambulance. Our post office guy was just shot. I heard 4 shots, and he's down. There's a fence checking on him right now. He is bleeding. Where is he bleeding from? He's bleeding out of his mouth. Did anyone witness this? I don't know if anybody saw it exactly. We saw someone run. We heard 4 shots. Okay, which way did the person run? Down Renaissance. South on Renaissance. Okay, what was that person wearing? A hoodie, blue mask. I couldn't identify him. I just saw a backside of a man running away after 4 shots. We have the police. I'm going to let you go.
Here's the body cam footage of a responding officer.
It's 8:30 here.
We're at the corner of Heatherville and Renaissance. No, we're feeling. Here. Please. Wow. Is that no air?
We were kind of the system meal. Working on it.
All triple. Okay.
We can. I know what the cricket is.
Can I ask you to look at the computer and we'll take care of this? Yep. Thank you. You got it.
I've got almost the West Central setup. I've got Band 399 South Airport and Pike. I've got 395 that are the South Airport and Clover Basin. Airway, Philly.
The victim sustained multiple gunshot wounds. The incident took place in the Somerset Meadows neighborhood in Longmont. As technicians processed the scene for evidence, investigators spoke with witnesses. One citizen had interacted with the postal carrier minutes before the shooting. The woman had gotten her mail from the carrier and returned to her home. Shortly thereafter, she heard 4 gunshots. Multiple neighbors heard the shots as well and witnessed a man in a hoodie and mask flee the scene. Police contacted the local post office, and employees identified the victim as 33-year-old Jason Schaefer. Not long after, detectives received tragic news from the hospital. Jason had
Now, who would want to kill Jason?
As multiple law enforcement agencies swept the area,
The mailman.
police tracked down Jason's loved ones. Jason's mother, Lori, lived in Connecticut. Detective Josh Burke asked local law enforcement to make the death notification in person. Lori said that she heard a knock at the door. It was the Connecticut State Police. They informed her of her son's death and the limited information they had regarding the incident. Jason Schaefer was born on July 1st, 1988. Lori said he was perfect. Jason's father was only a part of his life for the first 2 years. When Jason was 3, his mother found love again with a United States Postal Service coworker. Lori said that Chris loved Jason and that the two were close. Jason's stepfather, Chris, said that he was a cool kid and a great athlete. Chris said that he and Lori never missed a game. At around 26 years old, Jason was searching for a new adventure. He moved roughly 2,000 miles away to the state of Colorado. Taking after his parents, Jason decided to work for the Postal Service. At the Longmont Post Office, he met Devin Schreiner and they began dating. Jason's parents met her and thought she was a great fit for their son. Lori said that Jason wanted a family, so when Devin got pregnant, he was thrilled. In 2015, Jason and Devin's son was born. Chris said that Jason fell in love with his little boy immediately. He said that it gave Jason a new purpose in life. A few years after their son was born, Jason and Devin went their separate ways, but Jason remained devoted to being a father. Devin would have their child for half the week, and Jason would have him for the other half. Jason's parents told detectives they last saw their son 3 weeks prior. He had just moved into a new apartment with his girlfriend, Rosa. Jason's parents said that it was the happiest they had seen him in a long time. Back in Longmont, investigators scrutinized the crime scene. Nothing from Jason or the mail van was missing, so robbery was ruled out. Based on evidence found at the scene, the shooter fired 5 times. Although 5 shots were fired, the medical examiner determined that Jason had only been struck 3 times, once in the back, once in the left eye, and once in the forehead. With multiple shots to the head and face, detectives believed it was a targeted attack by someone who knew him. Jason's forehead wound had stippling, indicating that it was a very close shot. While at the scene, a neighbor informed detectives that she had witnessed a shadowy figure standing across the street. The person appeared to have been waiting for Jason to be alone before approaching him. Detectives wondered who had the motive to kill Jason Schaefer. Within 2 hours of the shooting, with the help of neighbors, investigators began gathering surveillance video.
Okay guys, my phone is about to die, but I will come back on and show you the finished results.
Jason's mail van.